So this movie is called Johnny Tsunami, but it ain't about Johnny Tsunami really. Like the Johnny Tsunami's officially the grandfather, and well, you could be like, oh, Johnny Kabahala saved a couple people on the waves of a mountain. It wasn't during a tsunami. That would be Johnny Avalanche.
It was some pretty gnarly waves. But
Yeah,
it
the
wasn't
intro.
it
The intro was nice.
No, he's a great
He's a
surfer,
great surfer.
but we didn't see a single tsunami in this film,
No.
except Johnny Tsunami, the grandfather.
How misleading is it that you're seeing this decom, you see the poster says Johnny Tsunami and there's this kid on a surfboard and that's not him.
How many people do you think, if you told them, hey, you remember this movie from your childhood, Johnny Tsunami, would remember that his name is not Johnny Tsunami?
I think they would all assume his name was Johnny Tsunami. His name is Johnny.
Yeah, his name's Johnny Kapahala, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
despite the parents hating, despite the dad hating the grandfather so much, still named him after.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's wild.
Well, this is like Frankenstein, right? I mean, Frankenstein was like the scientist, not the actual beast. So it's like Johnny Tsunami is like
It's actually the grandfather.
is actually the grandfather, but the main kind of focus of the film is on the kid.
This is it right here.
Yeah.
Johnny Tsunami is
It's
Frankenstein.
Welcome, everybody, to the DCOM Duo podcast.
I'm BenG,
I'm Kelsey.
and we're the DCOM duo.
podcast.
And today there's a third of us.
Ray, we have a guest.
Yeah. Say hi.
Hello.
What's your name?
My name's Alan.
Hi, Alan.
Hi, Alan. Welcome to the
You
podcast.
excited to discuss Johnny Tsunami?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and also probably like Johnny Kapahala and the other characters. Thank you for joining the podcast. What is your history with Disney Channel original movies? Do you watch them as a kid? Did you?
I did. So before my parents stopped getting cable, I did watch Disney Channel for quite a long time.
Nice.
Yeah, since I was like probably like 4 or 5, I remember watching a lot of movies on Disney Channel. Johnny Tsunami is definitely one that comes up. The Smart House one, where
Yep.
Smart House is classic.
Smart
that
House.
one. And like the two sisters who like
Twitches?
no, they
Oh.
ran that like dairy
Cowbells.
cowbells. Yeah, that one I remember pretty well too.
Yeah, that was Ali and
Look-
AJ.
Look at the Irish.
Yep.
Like the Irish.
Yeah,
You
I
named
remember.
the DCOMs.
Yeah.
Wendy Wu, Homecoming Warrior.
Yeah, it's a good one. You know, like High School Musical. Are you not into High School Musical?
I've watched the first one.
Okay.
Like that one I like. It is a Disney Channel movie, but I put it outside, kind of with
It's
like,
kinda bigger.
It breached containment a bit
yeah,
from the atmosphere. People know about it.
High School Musical, Camp Rock,
Yeah.
Descendants. Those kind of are like
Out there in the
out there.
world.
The
There's more than one.
musicals.
Or-
Yeah.
But then like Halloween.
Well, do you
Halloween
know?
Town.
Do you know there's a
Halloween Town.
sequel to Johnny Tsunami?
Yeah.
And it's back.
And it-
You'll have to come back for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Alan's our friend, not from college, but beyond college, and we're like, come be on our podcast.
I think for guests that we've had on a podcast, you're the person that's most recently been knowing of us. I don't know. I make the most recently
recent
made
friend.
connections. Or some people have been like siblings who are older than us. So
Yeah.
you're not always fair spot, but good on you for locking it down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So today we're talking about Johnny Tsunami,
Yeah.
which was a movie, all right. Overall opinions, I thought it has an undeniable aura around it, but watching it this time, I couldn't help but be reminded about, man, how stupid this movie is.
Just like how we get to certain plot points is stupid. Like the through plot is totally fine and totally good, but a lot of the reasonings of why we're getting where we're going is dumb, like silly, and it's still a fun watch. But I can pick this whole plot apart if I want.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to fit kind of a complex story into like a 90-minute kind of, timeline.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some details that they definitely had to kind of cut out and kind of smooth over.
And I would argue they didn't do a great job be logically consistent on that.
Yeah.
But that stuff we can get to when we go like minute by minute, scene by scene on
Yeah.
everything.
Okay.
Yeah, Johnny Tsunami. I did not watch this one as a kid, actually. Surprisingly. Yeah. No, I guess it was too like boy movie for me.
It is a boy movie
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
Which
Ben
there's not many DCOMs that are like definitively boy
a lot of the
movies.
older ones are, but not like then they went full like girl heavy, like
Mhm.
all girl protagonists pretty much. But yeah, Benji, did you watch it as a kid?
I think so. I definitely don't have like grave memories about it, but I'm pretty sure saw at least half of it as a kid, at least
Okay.
once. But I don't really have that many memories of it.
Mm-hmm.
It is definitely like the classic, surfer skater kind of film. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's definitely a
It's
very niche audience to that.
I can like say this. This is the ninth DCOM made, but it's already very derivative of what was, I believe, the third DCOM made in Brink.
Was that the third one?
I believe so.
Or was it the second one?
I can look it up quickly.
Maybe not.
Brink was third.
Oh, it was
You
third.
Lucky
Okay.
Dog is second.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, Brink is the like rollerblading one.
Yes, I've seen clips of that one. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And it's
It
in a
feels
lot
like
of
that.
ways a very similar plot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. No,
Like
it is.
they're only doing one sport rather than doing sport for sport, but it's definitely like rich versus poor, like class status, fighting about like the morality of sports.
They have a big race at the end to see like
Yeah.
who wins. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think this movie stands up to Brink, but that's mainly a pro Brink statement versus an anti Johnny Tsunami statement.
Yeah, for sure. Before we get deeper into the movie, I don't think we have fan mail.
I don't think we have fan mail either, but I'll check really quick because it'd be sad if we did and didn't read it. Ba, 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 ba. No, we do not have fan mail. But if you want to send us fan mail, email us at thedcomduo@gmail.com.
Comment on YouTube,
Yeah.
TikTok, whatever. We'll look at
Do
it.
some stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I can get into the factors then. As alluded to, this is the ninth DCOM released. It was released July 24th, 1999, one of very few DCOMs released when Kelsey was alive, but I was not.
Yeah, it was like a couple weeks before you were born.
Yeah.
And I was alive. So crazy.
That's why I'm like, yeah, I probably didn't have that many memories of this one before my time.
Yeah, I was not even a year old, so that's probably why I didn't watch it that much either.
The director of this film is Steve Boyum, who we've actually discussed quite a few times already.
And this is the last one.
This is the last one of his DCOM output. He did Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire,
Hmm.
did Stepsister from Planet Weird, and he also did Motocross.
Honestly, a good 4.
I don't think he really missed.
No, I think they're all like
And
pretty
Stepsister
good.
is great.
Yeah, and
That's the
Stepsister
only
we
one I
love.
think is elevated to great, but
Yeah,
I think it's a decent set.
yeah.
I haven't seen the other three, but this is a pretty wide kind of range of films. Like they
Yeah.
don't seem to fit one category.
They're all like Mom's Got a Date and Stepsister from Planet Weird are both like
Supernatural.
kooky. And then we have like Motocross
Cross.
and Johnny Tsunami who are like
Sporty.
Sports.
yeah, sports.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like they're not the most internally consistent DCOMs, and they also don't feel the same in a lot of ways. Well, again, the twos that were connecting there, this feels decently similar to Motocross,
Yeah.
but it's also definitely still distinct comparatively. He's not fit into one style like some directors.
Right. But I would say like consistently of my opinions on them and how much I like them, like he's pretty good across the board. Pretty like kind of high mid-range for me. And then Stepsister is just the best one because it's crazy.
It's a good one. Steve Boyum more recently directed stuff like episodes of The Boys, of Supernatural, and of Hawaii Five-O, the remake. He was also like a pretty big stunt performer in the 70s. He did stunts on like Apocalypse Now, Blues Brothers, You, Me and Dupree, Predator, some actual like
Oh,
big
wow.
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This guy's got a good resume.
yeah. No, it's not nothing for sure. Leading our cast playing Johnny Kapahala or Kono
Oh no.
is Brandon Baker. He did 4 episodes of Even Stevens and
Oh.
8 episodes of Proud Family. And when I'm starting by saying that, I want you to know he's really done very little else outside of being Johnny Kapahala and being Johnny Kapahala and Johnny Kapahala back on board.
Yeah.
He was Mowgli in the direct-to-video movie, The Jungle Book Mowgli's Story.
Wow.
Uh, and he's retired from acting as of 2015.
Because he wasn't getting anything.
That's not what it said, but that's what I assume.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think he's a particularly great actor. I don't think he does a terrible job within here or anything, but I do think what I was noting when we were watching the film, I feel like he doesn't have chemistry with any of the other actors really. And
Yeah.
it's like it just doesn't none of these scenes really hit for me, like the emotional scenes with him in it.
Yeah.
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 He was just a kid, right? He was only like 11, 12.
He looked really young,
Yeah.
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 I think he was the actual age they were talking about here.
Which was like 13, I think.
Yeah. Playing the role of Pete Kapahala, the father,
Mm-hmm.
is Yuji Okamoto. He's most well known for being chosen in Karate Kid 2 and in all of the Cobra Kai
Whoa.
same show.
That's fun.
Which I didn't
So
realize that, but
so is he not Hawaiian?
I don't think so.
He didn't look Hawaiian to me, but I also don't know.
I am pretty sure he is not.
No, he was born in LA.
Yeah, born.
Oh wow.
Otherwise, he's done like small roles in some big projects. He's been in like Pearl Harbor, Inception, Truman Show, but like mostly small things. Chosen in Karate Kid's like its known role.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So there's that. Playing the role of the mom in the film, Melanie Kapahala. I didn't pick up her name was Melanie until
I
doing the
didn't
factos.
I think he says it like one time.
Yeah, just a
Yeah.
smell, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Mary Page Keller. She had major roles in several 80s and 90s soap operas and sitcoms, but really not that much otherwise. She also hasn't acted since 2015. I think her best known role is like she was in the film Beginners, which was somewhat popular, but again, hasn't done anything since 2015. So
Hmm. Same year as
they had a
Brendan
retirement
Baker.
pact, maybe.
Yeah.
Playing the role of Sam Sterling is Lee Thompson Young. He was Jet Jackson in the famous Jet Jackson Disney Channel show, and also
Holy
Jet
shit.
Jackson the movie, the DCOM
Holy
that we'll talk
shit.
about eventually.
He is Jet
He's Jet
Jackson.
Jackson.
I didn't even clock that. I mean, I've only seen Jet Jackson the movie one time, and I had seen Johnny Tsunami one time, and now twice. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's him. What a little Disney Channel boy he is.
Yeah. Unlike a lot of people, he was recast in the sequel.
Yeah.
Just he's not there, and they
They didn't even need to bring him back at all because they said he's moving at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Whatever. They recast him for the sequel.
yeah. He's had notable roles in stuff like Friday Night Lights, Rizzoli on Isles, Akilah and the Bee. Sadly, in 2013, he passed of suicide.
Oh.
He was suffering from bipolar disorder and depression, and his family since launched a foundation in his name to help like remove the stigma around mental illness. So I felt like that was an important thing to get mentioned. Moving on, we have uh, the role of Emily Pritchard, who's played by Kirsten Storms,
Legend.
DCOM icon, because she is Xenon in Xenon Girl of the 21st Century, Xenon the sequel, and Xenon Z3.
Yes.
What terrible naming
They're
schemes.
terrible names.
She was also in Kim Possible So the Drama,
Whoa.
and also Kim Possible Stitch in Time. So like, oh, DCOMs
Yeah.
for Kirsten. And other than DCOMs, basically the only thing she does is soap operas. She was in almost 800 episodes of Days of Our Lives and over 1,700 episodes of General Hospital, which she still acts on today.
Crazy.
She's just a soap star.
A lot of episodes.
Yeah, decom into soaps.
DCOMs into soaps, which is one of the more successful transitions people have.
Yeah.
Playing the role of Brett, the bully.
Yeah.
Who is the second role, who's just like unapologetically mean the entire movie.
Yeah.
It's Zachary Bostrom. He was a child actor for like a decade leading up to this movie.
Whoa.
He was in A Very Brady Christmas, and he had a main role in Harry and the Hendersons. But,
I've
like,
seen that.
yeah, I
The,
haven't.
like Sasquatch movie. It's weird.
Um, Other than that, really not that much sense, but still acting as of 2023. I found a credit that late, so still
Okay.
doing stuff, but not too much to talk about. I feel like none of the actors in this film give me that much within their roles,
Hmm.
all too much.
They're all fine.
This is fine. I don't feel like the acting's anything stand out in this. Playing the role of Headmaster Pritchard, Emily's father, it's Gregory Itzin, who's best known as being the president, or at least one of the presidents, Charles Logan in 24. You know,
Oh,
big show
big
that I've
show.
seen zero of, but there. He's had a ton of other small credits on big TV shows, stuff including Friends, The Mentalist, NCIS, Hannah Montana. He was acting basically all the way up until his death in 2022.
He was an Airplane. Apparently, he was the religious zealot, the
Huh.
one in Airplane, and he was also in the sequel.
Ah.
Interesting.
Decided to get back on that plane. Yeah. And then finally, we have Johnny Tsunami, the
Johnny
grandpa,
Tsunami.
Grandpa Johnny Tsunami Kapahala. Is played by Kari Hiroyuki Kagawa. Which I found very interesting. He's only 9 years older than Yuji Okamoto. You know, the guy who was his son. Genuinely, in this casting, totally fine with it. I completely believed
He looks older.
he looks older.
Or maybe it's usually looks younger.
Yeah.
But it looks
It looks
fine.
very reasonable to me that they would have like a 20+ year difference.
Yeah, but it's only 9
But it's only
years.
9.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He has pretty large filmography. He's been in a lot of stuff. A lot of times it's like the villains, but like some big roles, including Last Emperor, Rising Sun, Pearl Harbor, Who Won the Two Strings, The Man in the High Castle.
Yeah.
He's also had big roles in the Tekken and Mortal Kombat film and game franchises.
Fun.
Like, he's big deals a little bit.
And he goes,
And he goes, hee hee. It's like one of the most memorable things to me in this movie is him just going, hee hee. He does it all the time, and I don't know why. I got a couple of fun facts for here.
Yay.
This film was actually filmed in Hawaii for the Hawaii parts,
Fun.
but it was not filmed in Vermont for the Vermont parts. It was filmed in Utah. It was the role of Emily, which went to Kirsten Storms, almost went to a different DCOM star, being Sabrina Bryan, who played Doe in the Cheetah Girls,
Wow.
which would have been much earlier than the Cheetah Girls actually
Wow.
came out. So kind of interesting. She was in the pipeline to begin with there.
Yeah. It's fun.
And then Johnny is typically shown when it's actually him, the main actor for Johnny Kapala, going, he's typically snowboarding in the goofy stance, which is having your right foot forward. But the stunt double for him in like all the snowboarding scenes has his left foot forward.
So the continuity is wrong.
It's just continuity's like always wrong.
I wonder why he was doing it. Is it like just worse to do it that way, or is it just weird that?
I don't know. Well, it's what footedness you are typically. It
Oh,
determines
okay.
that.
They should have just found a stunt double that like
Yeah. This
the
is
same
directed
style,
by a
right?
stunt double expert. I feel like that's something they should have caught.
But I definitely noticed that, like in the like intro sequence, a lot of those like surfers that were like in the first couple scenes that were like Johnny surfing, you could totally tell that was a much older.
Yeah, much taller, much
Much taller.
older. Like, dude, yeah, no, for sure.
They weren't ready for the camera quality or monitor quality to be so good. They
That you
were
could tell.
banking on TV screens being old CRT filters, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, you want to hear the Disney Plus description for the movie?
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes these just tell blatant lies, so
We'll see if
we'll see if it does. Johnny Kapahala, a teen surfing sensation, is uprooted from his island home of Hawaii and forced to move to a tiny ski resort town in Vermont. He gets caught in the middle of a long-standing battle between the local prep school skiers and the public school snowboarders. Yet, with the help of his grandfather, he becomes the best athlete on the mountain.
Okay. Is it a tiny town?
It
They have
is
like a prestigious academy, though.
it's like a private school, but then there's a public side too.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like tiny town to me.
I was going to go more on the line of if there's a lie in here, it's the fact that his grandfather doesn't really help him
Yeah.
become the best athlete on the mountain.
He
Also, the
encourages
majority
him.
of the movies is about like his annoyance about the dad being a bad parent,
Yeah, they
and
totally gloss over that.
and about like not necessarily learning to snowboard, learning to like make friends and move to a new place as a new kid.
Yeah,
And it doesn't touch on that really at all.
just that he's forced to move.
And his grandfather doesn't really help him snowboard.
He does, like, they go snowboarding together once before the race, so maybe that's what they're talking about.
I mean, his grandfather helps him win back his girlfriend or
It's
That's
his love
true.
interest.
That's
Fair
true.
enough. But no, he
Right.
is definitely not the king of the hill or the king of
Best
the mountain. The
athlete on
best
the mountain?
athlete on the mountain. No.
No,
No, probably not.
not at the end of there. I mean, maybe if we're saying best athlete, because he is like a prodigy surfer,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but he's not the best snowboarder slash skier.
no. But he does
But he
win the
might be the
race.
best athlete. I could believe that.
Okay. Could be, could
I mean,
be.
for someone who grew up in Hawaii to just one day move to Vermont and snowboard and be able to make it down the mountain, I mean, that takes, that
Well, he made it down
shows.
on skis first
Yeah.
try, too.
So
Hey,
that
don't
is
forget,
somewhat
Shaun White
amazing.
won a gold medal in snowboarding and in skateboarding. So
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
There you go. All right. Are we ready to jump into the movie?
I am ready to Descendants: The Rise of Red into this movie.
Nice. All right. So we open up and we see a surfing dude with long hair, right? And I love the voiceover right away in the movie. It goes, "Hey, Johnny, check out your grandpa." Yeah, he's the best.
I believe this is just one of the kids in Hawaii. I think his name is Jake.
Jakey.
Yep.
Jakey.
Jakey.
I think
Negative
he
one.
has
Yep.
the worst line delivery I've seen like
Yeah.
in movies where I don't know what he's going for. Every line is just said like he was reading it for the first time and was told to act surprised.
Check out your grandpa.
It's really weird.
And then it like cuts away from it. It's just so funny that that's how the movie starts. But the kids are like looking at a scrapbook and they're sharing a pineapple by the beach. You know, classic Hawaii stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
this movie is very stereotypically Hawaiian.
yeah,
Yeah.
They're always wearing Hawaiian shirts.
It's
They're always eating pineapple,
and they're surfing.
and they're
That's
surfing.
all
Like
you do in Hawaii.
I'm not Hawaiian or know enough about the culture to know how inaccurate those stereotypes are, but they're leaning into the stereotypes.
For sure. They don't really touch on Hawaiian culture like at all beyond surfing and eating pineapple and
I
saying bra.
I went to college with a couple Hawaiians.
Yeah.
They do not wear Hawaiian shirts every day, and they do not eat pineapples every
Do
day.
they surf every day?
Well, there's not really any hills in Northfield to surf, but
But when they were in Hawaii, did they surf?
well, I never asked them that.
Hmm. Do they say bra a lot?
No.
Sorry, bra. During when the boys are like showing the pineapple, they go like, "Oh, sorry,
Sorry,
bra." And then they see old newspaper clips of Johnny's grandpa saving people out of the ocean, and we learn that's how he got his name, Johnny Tsunami. He saved 3 people in nasty waves.
Wow, I really hope to grow up someday and save some people in a nasty accident myself.
Hmm
Me, Johnny Capahala. I'm sorry, Johnny Avalanche.
And
I'm only gonna save 2 people.
um, Grandpa comes up and they like go and get the medallion that he has. It's like a very special medallion. It's called the Tsunami
It's really
medallion.
dumb to me, this medallion. Like, I get it represents something
That he's
and
a
it's meaningful,
hero.
but everyone like looks at this medallion through the whole movie, whenever it shows up, and they're like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. And it's just like a standard medal you'd find in a thrift store.
And they talk like it's so important. He's like, yeah, it represents like surfing and respect of the wave and something. Like I don't know. I don't remember exactly what he says, but he's like, yeah, it's got to be passed down. Keep it in the family. It's gonna go to like a new surfer who does something amazing or something. Like I don't know. This medallion is very important later. Okay. Okay, no, I'll talk about it later. I have something to bring up when we get back to the medallion. Okay. Now we're at a surf competition and Johnny Capahala is killing it. Remember, his name is not Johnny Tsunami, that's his grandfather. Um, we're like, oh, there's Johnny, and I wanted to point out like that is clearly an adult man surfing.
Yeah.
It is not
It is
Johnny.
clearly a stunt double.
Johnny only has 20 seconds left. Is he gonna make it? And then a big wave comes in and Johnny surfs it and he like makes it through the wave. You know how you like can get through it? Surfing.
Surfing. Oh my god. Do you know how surfing scoring works? I've seen competitions on TV before, and I've never understood.
I've never understood the scoring. It's probably kind of like, with skateboarding, like freestyle skateboarding,
Yeah, we
stuff
have
like
to
that,
wait for
the
the
tricks, wait for
waves.
the waves. I mean, they had it in the Olympics,
They
Yeah.
did.
right?
Didn't really watch it much.
Mm.
It was always at the weirdest times because it was literally like a 12-hour
Right.
time
was in,
difference from France this year.
Yeah.
It was in Fiji, right?
I don't think
It
Fiji.
It
wasn't.
wasn't
I think it was
Fiji.
somewhere South America.
Didn't you say it was like French owned?
French Guiana, maybe?
I don't remember.
We can Google this, yeah. Tahiti.
It was
Tahiti.
in
Yes.
Tahiti.
French Polynesia.
There we go. That's what it was.
Well, in 2028, it's going to be in America because it's California.
Yeah.
California, bro.
So like San Diego, bro.
Yeah. All right. So, then Johnny comes in and he greets his friend, Grandpa and Mom, and he's like, "Where's Pop?" "Aw, he had to work.
Oh, he had to work.
He didn't make it to my surf competition."
Oh, man, I really wish my dad could have seen me hit that sick wave.
My pops.
Yeah,
He
my
calls
pop.
them pops.
Yeah, he doesn't earn the title of
Dad.
So at home, Pops is working at his desk. Benji, would you like to talk about the layout of this living room?
This has lived rent-free in my mind since the first time we watched this film.
Years ago,
Yeah.
we watched it. Yeah.
This house, we only ever get one internal shot of this because they're going to move to Vermont pretty soon.
Yeah.
This is just a big living room space, but in the middle of the living room, not next to any wall, with a living room with doors, glass doors all around it.
Yeah.
It's just an old computer because I was the computer at the side, and the dad sitting at a desk working at it. Why is he in the middle of the room?
The desk is literally in the middle of the living room.
Of the living room, not another room. This is where they would like hang out and watch TV, and they would presumably have to move your computer out
It's
of the
just
way.
weird. It's right in the middle.
It doesn't make sense, and
So that like when Johnny walks in and his dad's back is to him.
yeah, they clearly did it. Like the actual reason is so that they could have the cut of Johnny coming into the house and his dad is there, but he's still looking at his computer to be like, oh, he's so preoccupied with work. But they forgot to think about making any sort of reasonable house design.
Well, they could have done the camera like in front of the dad working and then pan it up,
That would make
Yeah.
way more sense.
right?
Yeah.
Pan
I
it
don't
up
know.
to show like click, 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 click. He's typing, and then Johnny walks
Or
in.
like put a
Boom.
mirror there so that you can see
Yeah.
his reflection coming in.
Oh my god, we would have done this so much better. But no,
Yeah.
instead, the computer is in the middle of the room. It's like the least ergonomic space you could pick in that entire room. And like, he would probably have an office based on the size of this house that we're seeing.
It's like a decent sized house. Yeah. He provides for his
For his
family.
family, yeah.
He has a job. He provides.
And so Johnny's like, sorry you couldn't make it to my surf competition
Yeah,
this time.
He's like tells his dad, like, "I'm sorry you couldn't make it," instead of his dad saying, "I'm sorry I missed it." Like, and Pop's just like, "Oh yeah, I'm just writing some rad code. I'll try to make it next time."
Yeah. Pause. This is the worst dad in DCOMs. I think Kelsey and I agree.
So bad. He's like
It's
honestly one
honestly
of the
like
worst dads.
an elite performance of every single moment saying like a bad parenting sentence when you don't think he can, you know?
Like, how can he dig himself deeper? And he just does.
Because, okay,
It's on another shovel.
not this first line that we get really from is like, oh, I'm writing some rad code, but I'll make it next time. He already knows at this point there won't be a next time.
There isn't going to be a next time. This is the last chance he had, at least for a long time, to see his son compete in a surfing competition, and he missed it to like work. It's probably like a Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm making that up in my head, but like it's probably Saturday.
Well, they move and it's the winter, so presumably it would have to be a school day. I guess it could have been like a night competition for surfing.
But it was daylight.
It was daylight. So yeah, it has to be a weekend.
Right? And why would they do a surf competition during the week? Like,
I mean, people on island time.
Yeah, and I mean, like you can't dictate when good waves are happening, so they might just randomly.
I might go with the
right?
weather.
that's true. I just love the concept that everyone's on island time. When you live on an island,
You live on an island, you're on island time.
What exactly is island time? I hear people say that a lot.
it means
but
like
is it-
you're on vacation, so time doesn't really matter. It's not like you have a
Mhm.
work schedule. You're on island time. You're just relaxing. So
Or
when
if
you
you're
live
on
in Hawaii,
it's just island time.
Speaking of island time, I've also heard of Berkeley time, which is a thing apparently where people that go to school at Berkeley show up like 15 minutes late everywhere
Really?
because that's kind of just how it is.
That's annoying.
I would hate that.
That's also like LA time where you're always late in LA.
That yeah.
Yeah, that's because there's
But that's
traffic.
just traffic. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no traffic in Hawaii.
No,
No.
everyone's on island time.
Everyone's on island
time. No one
Everyone's
cares.
kind of wandering around.
They
doing
probably don't
whatever
even
they
have
want.
clocks.
All right. So then Pops shows Johnny some of his code, and he like basically Googles how much surfers make in a year, and it's like 34K.
Yeah, he's using this moment to just again attack his own son for his interests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll do this the entire movie.
Yeah, and Johnny's like, "Nice try. I'm not giving up surfing." Like,
Hey, but 34K in 1999 is not
It's really
bad.
right?
That's like
not bad.
in today's that would be like $60,000, 70 maybe.
That's pretty average,
Yeah,
right?
all you have to do is get on a board and ride some waves
And be
That's
really
great.
good at it. And he's probably gonna get sponsorships. Like,
And he could still probably code. Like, during the day you surf
you're
waves,
right.
and at night you can write your code to make your.
Yeah.
It looked like
Or you can drive Uber.
It looks like it would
Yeah.
be roughly 67K.
good salary.
Which I mean, he's probably saying like that's the top line salary, but like that's
Yeah.
still
okay, because I
totally
guess
fine.
then, like how long can you be an athlete? Like you're gonna
Yeah.
grow out of it a little bit.
But also, I
Like,
don't
surfing, you
think
can do a
I
lot.
don't think that was factoring in like sponsorship money.
Insane. He's gonna get sponsored.
He's also a prodigy. He was the only amateur to qualify for like the final round of that tournament, and he
Yeah.
won the tournament.
And then he won. He's really
He's
good.
really good.
She's really good.
I mean, if he goes to the Olympics, he wins a gold medal. That's another bonus.
Oh my
At
gosh,
Get
he's
a
probably
bonus.
gonna go to the Olympics.
At the time of this filming, there was no Olympics.
for
Okay,
surfing. It
but he
just
was only
recently.
13 when that happened. He's gonna grow up and there's gonna be surfing in the
Yeah, he'd be-
Olympics.
Well, 37's not too
Surfing
old.
started in 2016, I want to say. in
So
the
he would be
Olympics.
like 30s.
It would be like he would actually probably be in his athletic prime. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like surfing can last longer. Like you'd be a little bit older and still surf.
because I think you'd be like 27-ish.
Oh my god.
There's those
Jeez.
guys who ride those massive waves. Like I think there's that documentary Maverick, where it's like that guy trying to ride that 100-foot wave off the coast of Portugal. And that guy was like late 30s. And like that other really famous surfer, Laird Hamilton, I believe that's his name.
You know more surfers than I can name.
Yeah,
I mean-
he was also really old.
Johnny Tsunami's still out there.
Yeah,
killing
Johnny
it.
Yeah.
Tsunami.
Yeah, we see the grandpa and he's killing up. These
Yeah, I guess
waves.
I don't know how taxing surfing is on your body. I feel like it's not that
I think
bad.
the ocean water is more.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
Crashing out is probably like what does it for you. You're getting rattled
Yeah.
around in the waves all the time. That's probably what does it for you. Anyway, so Pops is like, I'm trying to save you from ending up like my father. And Johnny's like, I want to be like him. He's awesome. And Pops is like, you know what's awesome? Supporting your family. Having a good job. And Johnny's like, whatever.
It's so dumb.
And then Mom catches Johnny before he goes upstairs and is like, hey, I'm proud of you.
Mom is completely innocent comparatively.
Gosh, she's
Yeah.
literally trying her best the whole movie. Like, I don't think she really does anything wrong except be married
Except,
to
yeah,
this man.
She needed to divorce this guy ages ago.
Keep your son in Hawaii where he's happy. But Mom's like, you're never gonna win that argument with Pops. Like she's talking to her husband, right? It's like, you're never gonna win that argument. And the dad's like, well, I have to try and stop the influence of my lunatic father. Like the amount of times he insults his father, and he named his son after him. Like it's absolutely
That's
crazy.
so funny. Like thinking about how much he hates this guy, and he named his son after him.
It's crazy. And Mom's like, hey, I love that lunatic, and so does Johnny, so watch it. And the dad's like, he spends too much time with him. And they also mention that they're gonna have to tell Johnny something.
It's like I'm guessing you haven't broken it to him yet.
Mm.
The dad's like, no, because they used to like the concept of they're moving for God knows how long, and they're telling him only when there's a week left.
I'm so mad. So okay, I'll look at the scene where they break the news to him. So Johnny's up in his room. It's full of like surfing stuff and trophies. It's a new day. And then he heads downstairs and he tries to hurry out to see his grandpa. But the parents are like, hey, no, we have to talk to you. And his dad tells him that he got a contract for his coding work and he's going to go work for Skyline Academy in Vermont. And Johnny's like, well, how long are you going to be gone to set it up? And the dad's like, well, it's not just a quick trip. we're moving there. We're moving back east. And Johnny says, where? Like Kauai? Didn't you say Kauai's like the westernmost
It was like on
island?
IMDb. It's like the one that Johnny says is the westernmost island of.
So they're not gonna go east of Kauai because that's probably
Yeah.
impossible. He's like, no, we're going to New England. All of us. I was like, okay, when are we leaving? In a week. We're leaving in a week. Why didn't they tell him this earlier? Like, you can't tell me that it was this quick of a turnaround for like getting hired and getting the
You know
house
what?
set
Also, you
up.
can't tell me
Mm.
that this is a permanent job position for the dad because the whole point of this code that he's writing is like connecting files between schools,
Yeah.
kind of like making an internet web portal for education materials, which I don't know enough about like internet atmosphere in the 90s to be able to talk about how reasonable that is. But there's no way that's a continuous maintenance job.
No.
I could believe he taking a couple months to set it up,
Yeah.
but not move your whole family to Vermont.
And like part of it is that Johnny's going to that school, and so maybe like that was part of the deal is that his son
He's
can
like,
go
oh, this
there.
is a high class school, even though everyone here sucks.
So he wants Johnny to be there like all
So
4
he like
years.
probably gave him an incentives like I'll set it up for free if you let my kid go.
And then we get away from my stupid father.
In Hawaii.
But they did pay for a house and like, you know,
Yeah.
And
everything
he
there.
does seem to really want them.
He gets his own parking spot. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, with his name on it. Oh man.
Yeah. So Johnny was just like, okay, I'm gonna go surfing now. Like Johnny, honestly,
Barely reacts.
he always has like a pretty good attitude about everything that happens to him. He's
He's
a
a pretty
good kid.
optimistic fellow.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
He's a good
Don't
kid.
know how he's been able to ignore his father for long enough to let that
That's
happen.
why his
Yeah.
nickname's Pono, right? They said I'm the goodness, so he sees the
Yeah.
goodness in things.
He does.
I think we're about to get to that scene, actually.
Probably pretty soon. First, Johnny like says goodbye to his friends. His friends are pissed, right? Like, can't believe you're leaving. No
Yeah,
waves.
Jakey's like, what? How are you leaving?
What?
You'll never
What do
get
you
to surf ever again. He's always the negative Nancy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no waves, no surfing, and it's freezing. And Johnny always has a positive outlook. He's like, maybe it won't be too bad. And then Jakey's like, you should run away.
Yeah.
And then they do some surfing, and there's a surfing montage. There's like tons of sports montages. In
But it
this
is a
movie.
sports movie and like
Yeah.
an action sports movie, so
Makes sense.
it makes sense. It's not like Stuck in the Suburbs.
No, Stuck in the Suburbs has montages of just scenes that have already happened.
Stuck in the Suburbs is like barely scratching an hour 15, and it has like 5 montages.
It's crazy.
It's like people walking down like a suburban.
It's like, remember
street.
this friendship that you first got introduced to like 30 minutes ago?
Yeah. Oh, remember this scene that happened 20 minutes ago? Here it is again. Yeah, it's crazy. Also, shout out to Scott Kramer and Pretty Much It. We were just at their show in Minneapolis where they watched Stuck in the Suburbs, and we were in the crowd for that on their DCOM tour, so that was super fun. Good creators. Fun DCOM tour. Okay. We continue. Johnny and Gramps are sitting on the beach, and Johnny doesn't want to go. And Grandpa's like, you know, I named you Pano as a
Yeah, your
baby.
parents named you Johnny
After me.
Yeah, but I call you Pono because my name's Johnny, and I don't want to get confused.
Yeah, he's like, what am I supposed to call him Johnny? No, he named him Pono, because it means goodness. And no matter what, Johnny finds the good in everything. And Johnny's like, I can't see it right now.
Do you think his name is Jonathan Kapahala?
Jonathan
Tsunami?
Jonathan Kabahala Jr. is the young one. But maybe they don't have the word junior in.
Yeah, wait, are you a junior if you skip a generation?
I think so.
Are you the second?
Oh, maybe you're the
Ooh,
second.
maybe you're the second.
right?
That's
That's
probably
a fun
right.
little hat.
Oh, Johnny Capahala the second.
That goes so hard, actually.
No, but it doesn't sound good though. It doesn't flow.
Johnny Kapahala the second, to me, is like an elite defensive end, like defensive tackle.
Johnny's like, yeah, I can't see the goodness right now. And Grandpa's like, well, you know how there was going to be a storm, but instead it stalled and sent that killer wave that gave you the win in the tournament. Like, you know, things never are quite what you expect. And Johnny's like, I just don't want to stay in Vermont forever. And Grandpa's like, you better not. You need to come back for this medallion.
Poor fella.
Hee.
Yeah. The grandpa, Johnny Tsunami, for some reason, in like every scene will just go. It's like his laugh, but it's like very forced, and he's doing it on purpose.
Yeah, that's like his signature thing.
And I don't really get it, but I do find it endearing.
Yeah.
Every time you guys do that, it reminds me of that YouTuber Niga Higa.
He would go.
Yeah.
TV.
That's what it was.
And he's Hawaiian, I think.
Yeah,
Maybe
he's
it's a Hawaiian
Hawaiian,
thing.
yeah.
Maybe it's a Hawaiian.
Maybe it's a Hawaiian ad lib that people just use.
Maybe.
Well, look at us. We don't know Hawaiian culture. Did your people from Hawaii you knew in college go hee hee?
No, but they're very chill and very happy people. Like
It's good.
I didn't ever see them.
They were on island time.
Yeah,
Island time even was it Minnesota?
yeah.
I'm like, I knew we were into college. All right. Yes. So Graham's like, gotta keep it in the family. And then Pops calls Johnny to leave for the airport. And he goes, I'm gonna miss you, Pano. I'll miss you too, Grandpa. And he says, you always have a home here, always. And then they say their goodbyes. And Mom's like, it's gonna be cold. Make sure you have warm clothes. And Johnny's like, how cold can it be? Cut to Vermont, snowing.
Yeah.
Is it always snowing in Vermont?
If you trust this movie, yes. I mean, I'm presuming it's the winter. It's not because, Vermont, I love Vermont, but it's the season of the sticks.
Good one.
And so, like, it has a fall.
It does. It's just kind of like,
It's like a pretty natural. You've been to Vermont before, right?
Yeah.
You went during
Oh.
the winter?
Fall.
was it snowing?
No.
So there you go. Hey, we are Minnesotan. We know
Yeah, we know
we're the
snow.
stereotypical snow state.
That's what I was just
Vermont
about to
isn't.
say. Yeah, like every time Minnesota's in a movie, it's
The problem
snowing.
is it's not a stereotypical skiing state
Right.
No.
or snowboarding, and I guess for plot reasons they want it as why as possible. Although that makes it more illogical when they get on the
Yeah.
flights later, but whatever.
Honestly, they could have just done it in Utah.
They could have said Utah, but they probably didn't want to worry about the Mormonism of it all.
I guess.
They could have done it in California. I feel like that would have made the most
Or
sense.
Colorado.
Colorado also would have made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But Vermont's like so small town.
But
There's
maybe
no big city at all in Vermont.
I guess like California and Colorado aren't that cold though until you go up in the mountains, right?
Well, during the winter, like Vermont isn't that much either. It's
That's
No.
true. That's a good point. I was trying to like say like because
they
they
could
want
have
the
said they're moving to
contrast.
Canada if they wanted to do that.
That's true. Yeah. But so Johnny's cold, which I'm kind of mad. Like he probably doesn't even own a jacket yet, or does he?
I think the family bought some jackets because the rest of his family has jackets. Therefore,
Well, and his
the
mom.
mom's like, you should pack, like you should put it in your carry-on. Is what I
Okay,
think.
well, she should have done it for him because she knew way more than he did. He spent his whole life in Hawaii.
Yeah,
Like,
but he
come
also
on.
probably got taught in school that cold weather exists.
Yeah, but he's like doesn't have the snow.
It's also not
shock.
that bad. Let's be real. It's probably like 20 degrees.
He's wearing a Hawaiian
Yeah,
shirt.
he gets in a car and he warms up there. He's like, it's cold, but he can survive the airport. And you don't have to deal with a coat in the airplane.
Okay,
Airplanes do get cold though.
You're talking like a Minnesotan. He's
I
a
am talking like a
Hawaiian.
Minnesotan.
Airplanes, like I was on a flight last week and I had to put on a jacket because it was pretty cold.
Dang. Alright. And it's summer too.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
it's probably like so I think it's like 5 hours from Hawaii to California. California to
Yeah. They
Vermont
never
is
show
another
connecting
6.
flights, and I want to mentally assume, although plot reasons, there can't be a connecting flight on one of these
Yeah. Later.
later.
Mhm.
But they fly back and forth from Vermont to Hawaii like 5 times in the movie or something.
No.
There's
Well-
at least 4.
Well, like
Flights.
there's like 3 flights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they always act like it's basically no time at all. It's like teleportation wise. You just kind of snap your fingers and you're
You just
there.
assume time has passed, I guess.
Like, I don't even think Vermont has a major airport. It probably does. but
Burlington's their largest one, I think.
It's just Vermont famously doesn't really have a city.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I
They're
don't know
all
any
small.
city in Vermont.
Like the capital, Montpelier, small. Burlington, small. Middlebury, which has the college Middlebury, also very small.
So I guess
Flight-
it is a small ski town.
Yeah.
A flight from Hawaii to Vermont has an actual flying time of around 11 to 14 hours, including
Jeez.
layovers. There's no direct flights.
Jesus. Oh, so
why
this
would
movie's a
why
liar.
would there be a direct?
You know what? This movie is pre 9/11. Maybe there used to be.
There's something in this movie that is very much only possible pre 9/11.
I don't. Well, it's weird because two very polar kind of environments, right? You have like a beachy tropical vibe, and then if it's winter, then you have like the ski kind of Vermont. Maybe people want to, go on vacation there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Vermont's so small, but it's so close, right? New England, everything's like
Yeah, you can just
somewhat
travel
close. You can
down to
just
Boston.
take a
It's not
train.
that far
You
of
can
a
go to New York
drive.
City. Like
Yeah.
everything will be close enough. We drive like more than the state of Vermont on a
Yeah.
regular basis.
Yeah, which is crazy to me. Living in New England's got to be wild.
Yeah,
I live in Minnesota.
like Minnesota, from the Twin Cities to the next major city, which would be like Milwaukee, is like what, like 5-ish hours.
Yeah. It's a drive.
I think Fargo would be closer, and I would call
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
major
Fargo's like
city.
4 hours, I think.
It's not that.
It's not that
city,
major
man.
though, but it is a city.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. You know the closest city.
Well, Rochester would be.
Minneapolis.
Rochester.
It's pretty big.
Okay.
It's not where
St. Paul. St. Paul.
going from Minneapolis to St. Paul is actually
Yeah,
pretty quick.
30 minutes.
All right, let's get back to the movie.
Yeah, let's stop yapping about Minnesota.
Okay, so they're in Vermont now. They see kids playing in the snow as they drive by. They get to the house. Johnny sees this new room, and it's just like way more of a stereotypical suburban
It's
house.
already been fully furnished.
There's like furniture in there, but it's just like compared to their little Hawaiian house. It's
There's
like
no computer desk in the middle of the living
that's
room.
so
there you
true.
go.
So true.
If you notice, though, there was a tiny little, like, I don't know if it's a pagoda or something, but something kind of Asian. Like, so maybe that was a little Hawaiian kind of Asian.
Interesting.
The company's like, you gotta have something to remind you of
Of
home.
home.
And they put up like a ski poster in Johnny's room, and he like
Ew. The first thing he does getting into his room is shove a poster on top of this framed poster.
yeah, he just puts it on top of the frame that's a surfing poster, and he's like, much better. Like, dude, I get you're 13, so he's just doing like dumb 13 stuff, but take it out of the frame and put your poster in the frame. Why does he also have this surfing poster
Why was
on
that the
him?
first thing he had unpacked? He didn't pack a coat, but he packed.
His surfing poster.
He's about that life.
Well,
He's
they
has
like had boxes in there. I bet they just shipped their stuff there and had movers move it in. Like, apparently this job paid money to move them.
they drove a nice Subi,
Yeah.
lived in a nice, like, it was at least 3-bedroom house.
Mhm. Okay, this next scene drives me crazy. So Johnny goes over and asks his dad if he can call his grandpa and tell them that they're here. And dad goes,
No, that's all he asked.
like,
Yeah.
hey, can I call grandpa and let him know we made it? And dad's like, I'm sure he knows.
And Johnny's like, but I told him I would call right when we got there.
And then his dad interrupts him and says, how about we look to the future instead of looking back at Hawaii? Dude, he wants to call his grandpa.
Your father.
Like, he wants to go, like, no contact with his father. It's crazy.
Crazy.
And
He's
for what?
done nothing. He's done nothing wrong.
He's done nothing wrong. And his dad says, besides, grandpa isn't going anywhere, except maybe the beach for a couple hours, haha. Speaking of ahead, here's your class schedule and some info about the academy. Huh, I wish I could have gone to a place like this. It's crazy.
This
The dad
is
is
salty.
the dad, like, how is the mom not divorced? He drives
The
me
dad
crazy.
just on a rewatch was so iconic. He's so terrible.
He's so
Yeah.
terrible. He's like, oh man, I wish I had opportunity as a kid.
Johnny's like, you don't have to rub it in.
Yeah.
You're not going back.
Yeah, Johnny's like, it's okay. Like, I'm already
Yeah,
here. Yeah. Oh, it's annoying. Okay, so then they get to school, and Pops is like, yo, I got my own parking space with my name on it. This is crazy. And then Johnny heads into class, and everyone's in uniform except for him. He's in a Hawaiian shirt. Because he's from Hawaii.
Yeah.
And-
They explain later his uniform just hasn't come yet.
Yeah. Which I'm glad they did have an explanation, because I'm like,
'Cause
why
it's
would
like-
you go to school without your uniform? And I think it's Brett goes like, what planet did he beam down from? And Johnny goes, Hawaii, brah. It's actually a state, not a planet. Like, he always claps back.
Yeah.
Brett.
No, he's not willing to pull a punch, you know?
Yeah.
Which I like Johnny's characterization a bit. Like,
Yeah,
I
I
think
do
he's a
too.
good, interesting character with her. I just feel like everyone around him is not.
Yeah. And then the teacher's like, Johnny, tell us about Hawaii. Like, it's kind of weird that she's like, oh, you're from
Well, she
Hawaii?
asked Brett first to like
Yeah, it's
explain stuff.
weird because Brett like says another comment. She's like, "Go ahead, Brett, name all of the islands of Hawaii," and he can't. And then Emily raises her hand and she names all of the islands of Hawaii, which she has memorized, which is impressive. I don't.
I didn't know they taught that in American history.
No,
Maybe they were just covering like when Hawaii became a state. But I
maybe.
feel like that's a geography question anyway.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
feels very geography, but
I feel like you only need to know like 2 islands of Hawaii and you'll be fine.
yeah. And then she's like, Johnny, tell us something about Hawaii. And Brett's like, you ever seen a volcano erupt? And he's like, no. Like there is an active volcano, but I've never seen it erupt. And they're like, what do you do? And he's like, I surf,
Yeah,
I
he's like mainly surf. I
windsurf,
do that every day. But
wind
also I windsurf.
Whoa.
fishing, hiking, kayaking, go to the beach. There's like girls in bikinis
Yeah, that's one of his
there.
hobbies is girls in bikinis.
This movie's just a giant ad, like one of those like go visit whatever state ads you
It's
see.
it is a
Hawaii, yeah.
tourism
It's a
ad for
tourism
2
ad.
states at once.
As if Hawaii needs a tourism ad. Like it's one
It's
of the tourist
yeah.
like vacation spots. Hawaii.
It's probably an anti-Vermont tourism ad. Then you're gonna be stuck with a bunch of snotty little kids who won't let you snowboard on their ski like
True.
path.
So then at lunch, Johnny's like, "Can I have pineapple, please?" And the lunch lady slops on some canned pineapple. He's like, "I asked for pineapple," and she's like, "This is pineapple."
Holds up the can.
And
Says
it says
Hawaii.
Hawaiian. Yes.
Which I thought it was gonna be like, "Here's your pears," or like, "We don't have pineapple," but no, they did have pineapple actually. So he wasn't out of line asking for pineapple. It was just canned
No
pineapple.
product placement though. That would have been a perfect opportunity for them to
For
just place
Dole?
like Dole. Yeah.
I don't think Dole wants to be associated with not fresh pineapple.
True. Well, no, he would have eaten them and like, "This is delicious."
I love this.
This is just as good as fresh pineapple.
Reminds me of home. And that's the Hawaii and like some dude chopping up pineapples.
Into a Dole can. All right.
What's up, bro?
So then Johnny tries to sit next to Emily, but Brett comes in and steals the spot. So Johnny has to go sit alone at the table.
Yeah.
And then the dad kind of comes in and he
He's
sees
so
him
excited to be
alone.
like check on his son, and then he sees him sitting in a corner all alone,
Mhm.
and he's like, "Wow, I'm terrible. I'm gonna do the exact same things the rest of the movie."
Yeah, he just kind of leaves.
And he doesn't go sit down with his son.
I think that would embarrass him more
Yeah.
if he did. I think it's the right thing to just kind of leave.
Wait, it's the father making this choice though, so it's probably the wrong choice.
That's true. That's true.
But really, it's funny to me when they cut back to Johnny. He's not really that upset about being alone. He's more upset about the pineapple.
Yeah, he's like, this isn't pineapple. Because he always just like takes things in stride, you know? So then at his locker, Johnny drops the surfing magazine and Brett comes and picks it up. And um, Johnny's like, oh, yeah, you can look at it. It rips, brah.
Yeah, this zine rips, brah.
And Brett's like, rips, brah? You're in America now, boy. Try speaking English.
Right? It's just racist.
Racist.
There's another guy.
Stereotypical
I
bully.
don't know if we even ever got his name.
No,
really.
I don't
There's
know his
another
name.
lackey who's like there with Brett who probably says a third of these lines.
Yeah, and
But I
just
think you
didn't
can
write
just
it down.
associate them all with Brett. They're the same.
Yeah. He was speaking English. This guy's just an asshole.
Yeah.
Oh, he's like, oh, sorry, dude. I just meant it was slamming. Totally nectar. And then they see some hot chicks in the magazine. It's like the lackey, and he's like, whoa, do all the girls look like this in Hawaii? That's so hot.
Boing.
And then Johnny's like, you can keep the magazine. And he walks away, and they see Johnny's in the magazine as like the most promising teen surfer.
On the same page. I wonder if he opened it there for a reason to kind of like shove it in their face.
And they're like, whatever. And they throw it in the
They
garbage.
saw in the trash lightly opened.
Yeah. On the page that Johnny's on. And then Emily walks by and sees it, grabs the magazine. And
She
this
goes,
never
I'm gonna look in the trash can.
and this like never comes back, right?
Yeah, no. I think he's just always trying to be like, but Emily's different.
Emily likes
She's
him.
I think the movie would have been more interesting if they just let Kirsten Storms be racist elitist as well.
But
Yeah,
he's
I don't know.
different. He's a surfing prodigy.
Yeah.
Why are they being so mean to him? I'm not going to do anything about it.
Yeah. And then the guys go over and invite Johnny to go skiing. And they're like, you ever been skiing before? And Johnny says, yes. I don't know why he lies to them. He's like, yeah, I've been skiing before.
Water skiing, maybe?
That's what he should
Why?
have said.
Yeah.
He's like, how hard can it be? Okay, so then later at the ski shop, Emily's showing Johnny all the equipment. And then Johnny like falls over and crashes a bunch of the ski stuff down. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then they go up the ski lift and Johnny is like scared and they're like, so where did you ski before? And he says, Snowmass. Great place.
They love lying about skiing. I would have just been like, I skied on the water. I water ski.
Yeah.
Right,
Gotta be the
yeah.
same
Yeah.
thing.
And then they're at the top of the mountain. Emily goes to like fix her skis because the bind is loose. While Emily is gone, the other boys just like push Johnny.
Because
Good
they're
day.
mean. And,
They
and
push
the,
him down
the
the
movie
hill.
is always trying to be like, Emily's not like them, so that they can get
Yeah,
together
they
in
like
the end.
they removed Emily from
But like
this.
again, I think it would have been more interesting if you just let her also be mean. Because at this point you're just like not picking a side for her.
Yeah, she's like in between. So they just push him, and since he's on skis, he just goes down the hill and he almost hits people, and then he kind of does hit people, and he's going full speed. And the dude
Somehow,
bros are right behind
yeah,
him.
first off, somehow, despite him like barreling out of control, he never falls, which would immediately stop him.
It's crazy how he never falls.
And second of all, the goons are able to follow right behind him easily.
They like
Yeah.
catch up to him, and he tries to do the pizza to break, and it doesn't work, which I can relate to because the one time I skied in middle school, I was doing the pizza, and it didn't slow me down. And I went really fast down the hill too, and
I'm
almost
shocked he
ran
didn't hit
into
a
people.
tree. That's the
Yeah.
Yeah, he should. He like goes into
There's
a
yeah.
a
There's
wooded
a lot
area.
of dangerous paths on this mountain, and people love going on unmarked courses on this mountain. We'll get to that later, but
Yeah, he definitely should have fallen. It's honestly impressive he didn't. He gets all the way down to like the cafe and the ski shop, and then he falls when he goes through the door.
and he like his skis fall off. And
Yeah.
he's like, returns are on the other side.
And then like Emily and Brett and the dudes are all right there, like apparently following right behind him at full speed as well. And Emily's like, you should be careful next time. And Johnny's like, I'm not sure there's gonna be a next time. Okay. At home now, Johnny gets home and he just throws his backpack on the stairs.
Yeah, no, it's funny. He doesn't take his backpack upstairs.
He throws
He
it
just throws
in the middle
it in
of
the
the
middle
stairs.
of the stairway.
Like, what? That's not where that goes.
My guy's probably going through a lot of pain right now.
He's like, oh,
It's
my
too
back.
uncomfortable.
While walking completely normally.
Yeah. Mom's like, you make any friends? And he's like, yeah, they took me skiing. And she's like, oh, did you fall? And he says, only once, but I made it count. And then he goes, can I call Grandpa? And Mom's like, sure.
It's like, why wouldn't you ask permission?
No, I don't
I
know
mean,
why he needs
actually, you know what?
permission.
It might cost money at this point.
It's all Hawaii.
Hawaii's often an international call.
Oh, okay.
It's 99, so it's probably a landline or
Yeah,
whatever.
you
Yeah.
also could be paying by minute.
That's probably true, yeah. So then Johnny goes up and he's still sore and he calls Grandpa, but Grandpa isn't home.
Yeah.
He's out fishing.
Yeah, he's out like doing fishing stuff. Side note, this entire movie, they will always act like it is the exact same time of day in Hawaii as it is in Vermont.
True.
How many hours? What hour difference is that?
I think it's at least 5, right?
It's
I'm
probably like
Googling it right now. 6 hour
6
difference.
hours.
it's probably
Yeah.
like 4 o'clock for Johnny right now because after school he went skiing.
Yeah, right now when we're recording it, it's 5:23 in Vermont, and it's 11:23 in Hawaii.
So it would not be daylight with him fishing.
Yeah.
No way. But whatever.
No, it would.
No,
it
it would.
would.
It would.
It would be like 10 a.m. and it would be 4
Oh,
p.m.
sorry. I
Yeah.
thought you said PM.
Yeah.
But it's never mind, it's morning there. I lied. So maybe that is reasonable. Okay. So then Pops comes in and he's like, oh, Grandpa's not home. You know him, probably camping on the other side of the island,
I
catching
hate
some
my
swell.
dad.
And Johnny's like, yeah, I'm gonna just do my homework now.
He says, I'm gonna do my homework.
Yeah. And then Dad's like, Mom told me you had a rough day on the slopes. Well, hopefully you learn something from it. That you need to concentrate on what's important, like that stack of books in front of you.
The last thing Johnny said was, "I'm going to do my homework."
And that's like, you shouldn't be out there skiing. You need to do your homework. And it's like, I have plenty of time to do my homework. But Johnny, okay, no. First, Dad says, otherwise, you might as well be back in Hawaii surfing. And Johnny's like, so annoyed. He's like, he's just trying to fit in. Like, they invited me. And then mom comes in and is like, well, maybe you should start small. And then she shows him the uniform. And Johnny like puts it on and he hates it. You can tell he hates it, but he doesn't say he hates it. And just another point of like, Johnny's always such a good sport about everything. And his dad was being like, you need to not go skiing. You might as well be back home surfing. Like, Johnny's always just like lets it roll off his back.
The uniform does look pretty nice, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I
It's
never
a
wore a
very
uniform for
fancy
school, but
uniform.
a nice coat, nice thick coat.
It is
you
a
know.
nice thick coat because it's cold in Vermont.
I don't know about the tie. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I want to wear a tie for like 8 hours
It
a
is
day.
too much. And we like get it later on, like, why do you think we wear a uniform? And I'm like, I've never bought those stuff. It's just because you want to. You want to
It's so
force
that we
kids.
look
It's so you get
prestigious.
control.
Yeah, it's weird. Okay, so Johnny goes into school with his Hawaiian shirt under his uniform jacket. And he gets sent out of class immediately. Like, that's breaking dress code.
But the teacher was like smiling and like grinning, like
Yeah, she was like, "Oh,
okay, she
you."
understands. She understands.
She's having fun with it. There are very few normal people in this film, and I feel like she's one of them, the teacher.
Yeah.
Maybe she's teaching about all of the Hawaiian island geography right before, so maybe not.
I don't know.
Maybe she was a surfer in her past life.
Ooh, fun.
That would be a cool prequel. Maybe like her and Johnny Tsunami were up to, you know.
He didn't
something.
save her. And then, and then she reincarnated.
She's like,
He's a past life.
and then that the tsunami just like took her all the way to Vermont, just
They were-
swept her away.
There were 4 people in the water that day. They don't tell you that part. All right. So Johnny runs into Emily at the principal's office and he's like, "Whoa, what'd you do to get sent here?" And she's like, "Oh no, my dad is the headmaster." Yeah. And she's like, the one rule that makes him the most mad is dress code violation. And then Johnny goes in with the headmaster. And the headmaster's like, "Does anyone tell you why we have a dress code here?" When kids don't have to worry about wearing the latest fashion, it puts everyone on the same footing. So then it's not about clothes, it's about what the kid can achieve.
If this was the actual reason behind uniforms, I'd be like, okay, I can get that.
A
But it's
little.
only at like fancy schools where you could afford like the fancy clothes.
Yeah.
Whereas the schools for like less wealthy communities don't do uniforms.
You know what though? I have a counter argument. There were kids that are probably there on scholarship on their academics who
That's
can't
fair.
afford fancy clothes. So if you put them in uniform,
Blends them in.
it blends them in.
Yeah. Fair enough. You know what? I haven't changed. You've changed me.
Thank
For
you.
the worst.
So then the headmaster's like, "So wear the right clothes tomorrow." And Johnny's like, "I'm not in more trouble. Okay, cool, bye." And then he asks Emily later, like, "Did you enjoy freaking me out with your dad?" And she's like, "Maybe just a little."
Flirting.
It's so flirty.
Even though she is like question mark dating Brett right now.
They never say that.
No, but I feel like it's implied.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know.
But it's middle school, right?
They're like-
Middle school.
yeah,
Middle
yeah,
school
I think so.
relationships are,
They're not
really
even
not-
real.
They're very important in life.
All right, so then Johnny takes the bus and
You're ready to meet like arguably the second main character of the film.
it's taking so long to meet him, honestly. So he's on the bus. He's on like a public bus. And you see some kids with snowboards get on and a boy sits next to Johnny. And it's Sam, who we learn to know. And he says, "Oh, you're the Hawaiian kid who like kamikaze down the hill on the skis."
He
He's like,
says
"Yeah,
something,
that's
I think
me."
he said something.
He says
really
that, but
common.
Johnny
I think
He says
Johnny
bombs.
said-
Yeah, he says bombs.
Johnny
Oh,
says
he's bombs.
kamikaze. Like that's a good line, Johnny.
Yeah, it's good. He's like, "I'm Sam, I go to public school," and Johnny's like, asks about snowboarding, like, "Is it easy to learn?" And Sam says, "It's easier than skiing." So not true, by the way. And we'll see that later in the film that it's definitely not true because Johnny makes it down a whole mountain without falling down on his skis, and he can't even make it like 3 feet on a snowboard.
Yeah. In real life, I think skiing is easier to learn. And in a real life situation like this, snowboarding would be insanely easier for Johnny to learn because it is still a board sport where you're standing in a style.
Except that he falls a million times on the snowboard and doesn't fall on the skis.
Don't trust this movie as an accurate source of surfing or snowboarding. It's not.
That's
Don't trust this movie.
You know what is something we haven't talked about though? The whole like rivalry between snowboarding and skiing was a real thing happening in society.
Well, yeah,
Which is cool.
they're just about to discuss that.
Yeah, I guess we
here.
haven't talked about it in the movie.
They don't talk about it
but
until Sam shows up.
yeah. But like that was a real thing happening at like ski resorts with like local kids.
Yeah, you ever notice all those wealthy people going on their trips? It's never a snowboarding trip. It's always a ski trip.
Crazy.
I didn't know that. But I grew up in North Carolina. There's only like one small resort
Mm.
people go skiing or snowboarding.
Well, there's nothing here, so just like man-made stuff, right?
They got some
I did
stuff,
go
but we
skiing
don't
once.
have elevation here.
Yeah, we don't.
That's the problem. But there are places, a lot more cross country, which is not
Yeah.
the type of skiing this movie's talking about. They're talking
No.
downhill.
I went snow tubing once. That was
Tubing's
pretty
fun.
fun. That was fun. Just like go a conveyor belt up the big hill, and you go on a tube, and it's snow.
It's just sledding.
It's just sledding, but it's a tube. And it was fun.
Without the Olympics. I guess they have luge.
Yeah. Okay. So Johnny's like, you think you could show me snowboarding sometime? And Sam's like, I guess you don't know the rules. Academy kids ski, public kids board. And then Johnny gets off the bus, and Sam calls Johnny a Sky as he leaves. Like, see you later, Sky. And Johnny's like, what? So then Emily's in the library and she like removes a book and she sees Johnny like through the books.
Oh, how
and the other
romantic.
yeah.
Look back.
Her and Johnny like look at each other, and then Emily compliments his full uniform look. He's finally wearing the full uniform, and she mentioned that he's finally starting to look like a Sky. And Johnny's like, okay, I've heard that before. What does that mean? And she's like, well, that's what they call anyone from the academy. And the public school kids are the urchins. And he's like, oh, I guess like the public school kids got it pretty bad in the nickname department. She's like, oh yeah, I guess. And then Johnny asks about snowboarding. And Emily goes, we don't snowboard, Johnny. We ski. They snowboard on the other side of the mountain. It's just how it is, Johnny.
It's like they're trying to make this in a little bit like a veil of racism talk, I feel.
Like classism,
Yeah.
kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally a classism thing, but a lot of like these language that they're using that is just how it is feels like a lot of media around racism, how it gets talked. And it's just like, you're not pulling this off well enough to do that.
We don't snowboard, Johnny. So then Johnny goes to the snowboarding side of the mountain.
It's like, I don't care.
He's like, hey, Sam, can I talk to you? I've been on board my whole life, and I just want to get back on one. I don't care about skis or the skies or the urchins or whatever. I just want to run ride. And also, I want to note that Sam has a cool hat. And it says like these
It's like noodles on it.
Yeah,
noodles.
yeah.
And
Colorful noodles.
Johnny's like, when do I get one of those?
Yeah, Johnny's still wearing his uniform, which is crazy. I'm like surprised like none of the public school kids
They
like
should beat him
were-
up.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Sam says like zip up your coat so they don't
Yeah.
see that. Yeah. And then they go into the snowboard shop, which is like way more of a chill vibe than the ski shop. And the worker there, he's like, "Oh, I've heard of your grandpa, or I've heard of this one surfer, Johnny Tsunami." And Johnny's like, "That's my grandpa." And he's like,
What? You get everything for free.
No way, brah.
Just lie about having a famous grandpa,
He
and-
could have just been lying, which he's not, but
and you get anything for
But
free.
also his name is Johnny Capahala.
Yeah.
Also, so what if that was a coincidence? That'd be crazy. Okay, so then they do some snowboarding. We get a little montage eventually. Johnny falls right away. And Sam gives him some tips, and Johnny tries again. and he keeps wiping out. But then at the end of the montage, Sam teaches Johnny a little secret handshake that
Yeah,
they
you
do.
start at your shoulders, you slide it across, and then you dap the guy up.
So sick.
So cool.
They're best friends already. So then out on the town, Johnny is holding his snowboard and he runs into the other like skies and they pick on Johnny, but Johnny claps back. Like he always
Again,
gets
he
it back.
doesn't hold punches. It's not one of these DCOM protagonists we normally get who's like bad with the words or like lets himself be bullied in the first few acts.
You know,
No,
he
he fights
always
back always.
always. And then his dad pulls up, so Johnny gets in the car with him, and the dad's like, I knew you'd make friends.
Another just bad read for the dad.
Yeah, bad read.
Again, he pulls out L's where you don't think there's an opportunity for them.
Yeah.
Honestly, he should have stepped out of the car and shook Brett and all his lackeys' hands and been like, "Thank you for being friends with my son. Thank you for having us here in the small town of Vermont.
That would have
I
been
love
good.
it."
That would have been
Right?
good.
That would've been
Another
funny.
L.
So then at the mountain, Johnny is back with Sam. They're talking about the ski and the snowboard war that's happening. So we learn that the mountain used to be owned by one guy. And then when he died, the family divided it by like the skiing side and the snowboarding
We
side.
get like the conclusion of what actually happened on here later in the movie, like,
Yeah.
at the very end, but I think it's kind of better to discuss now.
Yeah.
Honestly,
It makes it
it's-
sound like this happened a long time ago, but then
it
by the
happened
end of the
10
movie,
years ago.
oh, okay, it's been 10 years.
Yeah,
I don't
and
know.
it
Like
was just
the owners of the shop seem young to me, though. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
basically there's two brothers that own the shops,
Yeah.
but their parents got divorced? Question mark.
Okay, no, we'll talk about that at the end. They reveal it at the end. We're not
Okay.
talking about this now,
The-
but it's wild.
It's wild, and I do want to talk about that because
Yeah.
that is wild.
Yeah. What we know right now is that they divided the mountain.
They divided
Yeah.
the mountain, and it's kind of dumb.
And the ski side has all the best runs, which is, and Johnny's like, that's bogus. And it is. And then Johnny tries to board more and he falls. And Johnny says, I can't wait to get you out on the water someday, Sam. And Sam's like, I've never seen an ocean that wasn't frozen. Which is like,
Which is
what?
kind of insane because you're in Vermont right now, and you have implied you've been here for a while. The ocean's not frozen in Vermont. Vermont is close enough for the ocean that you can easily go see the Atlantic Ocean. Like it's not actually on the coast,
But it's
but-
right
But
there.
it's
It's
a
a
drive
quick
away from
drive.
Atlantic.
it's a quick drive. It's quicker than some drives I've made on commutes.
True.
And where was he stationed? Like,
I don't know where he was
He
stationed before.
mentions a couple
Family
places. I don't know
station.
if you noted it down later on,
I don't
but
know.
there's no way. I guess you could just be more internal, non-coastal.
yeah.
But, like, again, if you saw the ocean going from Vermont, it wouldn't. It would be cold, but it would not be icy.
Yeah, it doesn't really freeze until you get to like the Arctic.
Yeah, and what about the summer? You gonna tell me it's cold in the summer? It's probably a little cold, but not like
Yeah.
not frozen. Jeez Louise. All right, so then Johnny goes over to Sam's house. He lives on the military base there, and we learned that his mom passed away a few years ago. Johnny says, "Don't you get tired of moving so much?" And he's like, "Yeah, my dad promised we would stick around here for a while." And the dad comes home, and he's like so cool. He's like, "Let's go to the moon."
This dad's great.
He's a good
Yeah.
dad. He is.
Like, will he have some issues in terms of like having to make his son move? Yes, but that comes with the job.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a military guy. Like he moves around. That's just how it is. We watched a whole movie about that. It's called Tiger Cruise.
It's about 9/11. Second 9/11 mention of the episode, and there will be more.
They actually weren't moving in that one. They were just
Wait.
he was in the Navy.
This is a decom movie?
Yeah,
It's a
about
detail
9/11.
About 9/11. Explicitly taking place during 9/11.
It's
They
wild.
filmed it during 9.
No, it was like a couple years later.
Oh, okay.
It is basically just military propaganda.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's also just mediocre.
It's not that good. All right. So yeah, aren't you tired of moving so much? And he's like, yeah, but we're gonna stick around. And then dad comes home. Yeah, blah blah blah. So then the dad is like, oh Johnny, I'll drive you home. Let me just go like change out my uniform and then I'll give you a ride. And he's like, oh thanks. And then Sam asks Johnny, what's Hawaii like? And he's like, oh, it's so cool. Just think of the exact opposite of this town and you got it.
It's the most out of pocket thing Johnny, I think, says in the whole movie.
It's so funny.
Because it's so cool. It's the exact opposite of here, what you like.
The exact opposite of this town. He's like, come over tomorrow and I'll show you. So then now it's tomorrow, and they're in Johnny's room and they're watching a surf video.
Yeah, they're lying in his bed, feet dangled up
Yeah,
in the
they're
air.
like kicking their feet.
You're like, wow, you surf these 40-foot waves. I'm wondering who made this home video.
I don't know. Is it of his grandpa? Is that a video of his grandpa? He says his
It
grand
might be, yeah.
he says his grandpa surfed 40-foot waves at some point. So, and he's like, but my dad doesn't surf. We're so different.
I don't get, how are we related?
Yeah. Johnny says, next time it's raging like that, I'm gonna be there no matter what. And then Johnny's like, hey Sam, thank you for teaching me how to snowboard and hanging out with me. And Sam's like, I know what it's like to be new, but it gets better. All good, brah. And that's that scene. So then school, Johnny has a snowboard again, and Emily comes up and she's like, I don't get you. Why are you snowboarding? And he goes, it's fun. You're not gonna tell me your dad has a problem with that too.
He does.
It was
The real
like,
question is,
he
how
does.
did he like just carry around a snowboard all day? It doesn't look like the lockers are that big.
I
Right?
guess he just carries it with him. So he
It's
can go
like
right after school.
Chad in High School Musical with the basketball.
So true.
Yeah.
Or like any band kid with a tuba.
In real life, I've never seen anyone. I mean, I went to like high school with kids who were like skaters, but they never brought their boards into class with them.
Not into
Not
class.
into class. No.
Well, they could probably fit a skateboard in a locker,
Yeah.
not a snowboard.
Oh, we didn't have lockers in my high school.
What?
No.
What?
Didn't have a cafeteria either.
What?
Yeah.
Did you go to a school?
It was like a small charter school, so like we like bought like a building from like a local like church or something.
Weird.
Yeah.
Wild.
So where did you eat lunch?
In the classroom.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you were like assigned a classroom to eat lunch in?
Yeah. Or no, you
You
can
just
move
did it
around.
as a
No, you
They
can
had,
do any
like,
classroom.
You can eat in any classroom.
So you can pick your favorite teacher and go eat lunch with them.
I mean, that'd be pretty cool if like I would assume Johnny would probably be in the history class or whatever. Or that's like the only teacher they show.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
does seem like it might just be a single teacher
Sure.
thing, even though that's usually dropped in middle school and they're
Yeah.
in middle school age, but whatever.
Okay, so Emily's like, is it hard to learn? Snowboarding, is it hard to learn? And he's like, yeah, you probably wouldn't be able to do it. Just trust me. I heard the longer you've been a sky, the harder it is to board.
You've been a sky your whole life.
Plus, you wouldn't want Brett to get mad, right?
Just
And-
egging her on in every way he know. Like, how do they know each other well enough that he already knows every button to push with her?
I mean, it's just
that
saying you're a
predictable.
sky.
Yeah.
And then he walks by Brent and he says, surf's up, brah. Just teasing him. And Brett's like, ugh, he's an urchin now. How pathetic.
Is Urchin really that much of a negative side? I kind of like the Urchin as a nickname.
Yeah,
I know
better than
I know
Scott, yeah.
Urchin's a negative term,
yeah.
but like I don't know.
Sea urchins are pretty cool.
I think they're cool. Yeah,
They're
I think it's
spiky.
interesting.
Yeah.
That's what I know about them. They're spiky. Okay. So then they're like Johnny and Sam are at the mountain and Emily shows up on the snowboarding side to board with them. And we get a little montage of her like falling and stuff. But then she starts to get it. And okay, so they're in the middle of snowboarding down the mountain.
This is crazy. We're there. You expect a whole montage of her training because that's what happens.
This is pretty abrupt when it happens. Like they're just
It's been like
snowboarding.
5 seconds of her learning.
Yeah. They're snowboarding down, and Emily goes, okay, I'm ready for a real run now. And they go, no, Emily, you're doing good for your first run, but. And then she goes, see you at the bottom.
And she just jumps off a cliff.
She hard turns right off the cliff where it says, don't go here. She's like, I'm ready. Do falls off cliff. What? Emily.
It's the most insane behavior.
It's nobody's fault except for Emily's.
Yeah, she's just like, I'm Xenon, I can do this, and plummets off a cliff and immediately face plants for like 15 seconds,
And then is dangling off a cliff.
and like is about to die. It's insane.
They say, actually, she says, see you at the bottom. And they go, no, Emily, don't. She falls off a cliff. Emily. What the hell?
She did it on purpose.
We go
She wanted to
from-
get him in trouble.
Within 30 seconds, we go from a montage to her falling off a cliff. It's very abrupt.
It's very abrupt.
And she goes, "No, no, 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 no." And she's hanging off a cliff. And then the boys go to save her. But Sam also falls down the cliff.
Yeah. To be fair, for Sam, he was like, I'm gonna lean over, try and see if like there's something I can do, figure something out. And then the cliff falls underneath him.
Yeah,
It like
Yeah.
it like
avalanches
breaks.
down. But somehow he gets in the spot right next to her. They're both holding on to something, but there's nothing they're actually holding on to.
No, just like a rock.
Yeah. And when they cut, there's like 3 different angles that they use for this in the movie. Like show them dangling off the cliff, and all 3 are clearly different spots to me.
Hmm
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense how like the set design of this all works. They don't look in danger at all, except for one shot where they're like looking like they're about to die.
Yeah. Johnny has to go and board down the mountain all by himself. And he's like, "Guess this is the advanced class." And he keeps like barrel rolling down, like somersaulting, but landing back up on his feet.
Yeah, the stunt double must love that move because it's just like I can do this. Let me show it off, and he does it like 5 times.
Yeah.
Shocked he didn't get a concussion.
Yeah.
Maybe he did.
Maybe he did.
We were a lot lighter on concussions in '99.
Yeah. So Johnny, he does like a sick jump right at the bottom of the mountain. One guy goes like, "Whoa, look at that!" And he finds the snow patrol or the ski patrol, on a snowmobile, and he like hops on the
It's like
back
my
of the
friends are in
snowmobile.
danger, and he's like, "Where are they?"
Let's
Timing
go.
was impeccable though. He like snowboards right in front of the snow patrol.
He does, yeah.
Which is
So then they make it there. The guy throws down a rope for them. They pull up Emily first. No question of who wants to go first. He goes, "Pull her up first."
To be fair, she's been dangling for longer and is less experienced
Well,
with.
I think Sam hands her the rope. Right?
No, the guy just says, "I'm gonna give it to Emily first."
Oh.
He says, like, "Pull her up first." So I guess Sam probably does hand it to her, but it's just
Yeah.
because the guy said, "Pull her up."
It's also
Yeah.
noteworthy, like some of the random other urchins see Johnny when he was snowboarding.
I
down.
mentioned that.
Okay, and it's just like,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
he's so good.
Whoa.
Johnny's amazing.
Yeah, so then Emily gets pulled up to the top, and when she's like just about to reach the top, her and Johnny kind of have like a moment.
They're like, oh, and
Oh.
Sam is like, y'all, I'm still dangling here.
Yeah, you want to hurry this up?
So now, and this incredible effort that Johnny did to literally save 2 lives. How do you think this goes from here? Where again, what happened was Emily just decided to jump off a cliff.
Fully Emily's fault. They said, "No, Emily, stop." And she did it anyway. What was her thought process of, "Oh, I want something harder. I'm going to go off the dangerous edge of the cliff."
That's not even a track, like not even a path for skateboarding. It's literally just a cliff.
So stupid. So Emily talks to her dad on the phone. She's like, "I'm fine, Dad, I promise." And Sam goes like, "Thanks, Snow Patrol dude." And he's like, "No problem. Just tell your friend to watch out for the signs next time." And then Brett goes over to Sam and Johnny and tells him not to drag Emily down with them. And he's like, "Why don't you chill, Brett? It was an accident." And he goes, "Stay out of it, urchin. Stay away from Emily. She's only nice to you because her father made her."
Okay, Brett.
Okay, Brett. He's like, "But now you got her grounded, so that won't be a problem anymore. You chose to be an urchin. Now stay that way."
Stay away.
Oh, stay away.
How did her dad know so quickly that
She
was in trouble?
called him.
Oh,
She was on the phone
okay.
with him. And she's like, "I'm fine." I'm sure like the ski resort
Yeah, I'm,
probably
I'm
told her.
guessing like
Yeah.
the patrol immediately contacted the parents.
Yeah.
Your kid was being dumb and
Like,
just decided to
please,
jump off a cliff.
please don't
Give
sue
them some
us.
help.
Please don't sue us. We saved them. They're fine. So then they get in the car with Sam's dad, and Sam's dad is like, "That was dumb. Like, I should be proud of you because you did save her, but like, you gotta be more careful next time." Like, the way they keep blaming the boys for this is crazy. They never blame Emily
Which
for
is
what
again insane.
happened.
It's clearly her fault.
It's all her
They were
fault.
just trying to save her life.
And they did.
But
They did
they
save her
taught
life.
her how to snowboard.
Imagine that's how you die. "I'm ready for the advanced class. See you on the bottom." And then she falls off a cliff and dies. That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
At home, Pops is disappointed in Johnny.
Yeah, I mean, when is he not?
Yeah. Johnny's like, he's like, "Do you get why I'm disappointed?" And Johnny's like, "Because of Emily and the headmaster and your job. Like, it's gonna jeopardize your job." And he's like, Well, that hadn't crossed my mind until now.
That's another reason.
This isn't Hawaii. You know your limitations there. Like, you just can't help. Do you like my father? And Johnny's like, cool. And he's like, I didn't mean it as a compliment. Go do your homework. Once again, somehow relating this to his father. It has nothing to do with his father, but he's like, you're just like him. Wah. And then so the dad is talking to the mom now, and he's like, "Oh, he's always a problem, no matter how far I get away from him. Like, how is this about your
How
dad?"
are you blaming your maybe blame your own parenting if you don't like this enough. But
Yeah,
also, oh, I'm so mad my son saved a kid's life.
2 kids. Johnny saved
Sure.
2 kids' lives that day.
Maybe look at the bright side for once.
Be so proud of him because Johnny was never the one dangling off the cliff.
He didn't put himself in danger.
No, he
Other
went and
than
saved
like,
them.
yeah, he would play, like was a little inexperienced going down the course, but he stepped up to save people's life.
He did nothing wrong, and he's somehow in trouble here.
Justice for Johnny.
Justice for Johnny. The mom's like, "Is that why we moved to get away from your dad?"
Also,
And
somewhat implying that yeah, you probably could have done this job in Hawaii.
yeah. And Pops is like, "My dad is not a role model or a hero. He's a surf bum. I don't want Johnny to end up like him." Mom's like, "You don't know what he's gonna do. Right now, like, he wants to be a surfer, but that could totally
And
change."
he's like, he could get a drum set and want to be a rock star. And the dad's like, oh, please don't. That would be terrible.
Pops is like, "I just wanted to be brought together as a family here." And then mom's like, "Us not being close has nothing to do with surfing or your father. Why do you think he loves him so much? Because he doesn't try to turn him into something he's not. He celebrates who he is right now." Good points, mom. That's the end of the scene. So dad didn't have anything to say to dig himself further in this conversation.
He would have if he could have.
He would have, he could have. So then Johnny's on the phone with his grandpa and he's like, "I miss you. I miss home." And Grandpa's like, "I miss you too." He's like, "There's a big swell coming in this week. You know, you can visit anytime you want."
How? It's an
Yeah.
11 to 14-hour flight,
Yeah.
and there's no direct flight.
So then the mom comes in and Johnny hangs up and he goes, "Am I grounded?" And she goes, "Why would you think that?" "I think you learned your lesson," which good job, mom. This isn't his fault. And then he goes, "Why does dad hate grandpa?" And she goes, "He doesn't hate him at all."
Bad.
But they just see things differently. Like what? Life, for one. And Johnny's like, "That's a pretty big thing." They used to have more in common. And Johnny's like, "It's weird thinking of dad any different than now, caring about anything more than his work."
The mom is like mentally putting some stuff together, like, yeah, you know what? He is a shitty person.
Yeah. He cares more about work. Like, oh, he says he cares more than just work. Like being a good father to you. I think that's the most important thing to him. And Johnny's like, "I'm gonna do my homework." That's always his go-to of
Just
like,
go
"Get out
to
of my
stop
room."
talking to me.
Yeah, "I'm gonna do my homework now. Bye."
Would have been crazy though is if Pops was also named Johnny Capahala.
If they were
He
all
just
Johnny.
They're
changed his
all,
name.
and they're like the only thing they have in common is their name, but everything else they're like completely
So how does
different.
it work with like junior and the second and the third? Does it go
Yeah, we
like
never actually came up with an answer for that.
does it go like Johnny Senior, Johnny Junior, Johnny the
The
third?
yeah.
Maybe.
Typically, when the third comes, that's when people get renamed the second.
Okay, so he would become the second.
Yeah.
Johnny the second, Johnny the third. But no, he's Peter.
He needs to be
You
different.
think it's Jonathan Kapahala? I never got an answer.
I don't think it's Jonathan Kamal.
It's just named Johnny on his birth certificate.
Yeah.
Johnny Kapahala.
It's crazy. It is. I'm going back to this. How the grandpa's like, "I'm gonna call him Pano." He's like, "I don't want you to name him after me."
This movie is insane writing. Like you can think about it a little bit longer on any like plot detail they go, and you go, "This doesn't actually make sense." The lore doesn't make sense.
Not really. Okay, so then new day, Johnny goes in to see the headmaster to talk about what happened on the mountain.
Because I guess that matters on a school-related
We
thing.
learn later he was like trying to take the blame, which we don't see this conversation, and it's kind of glossed over. Because then we cut to lunch, and Emily just gives Johnny the cold shoulder. which is so uncalled for. And Johnny's like, I talked to your dad. And she gets pissed. And she's like, what happened yesterday? We were lucky. We were really lucky. And Johnny's like, I know.
Snowboarding's dangerous.
Yeah. And Johnny's like, I know, but it worked out okay. And she's like, we can't see each other for a while. Can't you see that? I gotta go.
Saying it both as like a I hate you now, but also as like a spurned lovers that are
Yeah.
torn apart.
Forbidden.
It's somehow both at once, and that makes the line just weird.
It's so weird. So then at the mountain, a snowboarder, the guy who saw him earlier, gives Johnny props. Like, yo, that sick jump yesterday, that was awesome. And you saved Emily and Sam, that was cool. And then Sam gives Johnny the cool matching hat.
Oh my god, he earned the hat.
This is like the only time he wears it.
Yeah.
He
He
always
always
never
get a
again.
different hat instead.
Yeah.
They just forget about the hat.
Mm.
So then they decide to go boarding on the like the sky side, the skiing side.
Feel like, it has the best runs. Let's just go do it anyway.
Fresh
Go-
powder, man.
Yeah.
Go-
Fresh powder, bro. Let's shred some gnar.
Go big or go home. So then there's a montage of them snowboarding with like this alt rock kind of pop grunge type song playing. Like
It's an
we're like,
interesting,
oh,
very 90s song.
it was very 90s. Here comes the skiers in their matching yellow jackets. Like I haven't mentioned this yet, but they have these like
Yeah.
matching yellow jackets.
I'll see Skyline on it
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
And then all the public school kids have their ragtag kind of
Yeah.
personal.
You wonder who the underdogs and who the elitists are.
Yeah.
The costuming's on point in this movie, actually.
Yeah.
The whole way through. All the Hawaiian shirts.
Yes. They're like, we should bail, and Johnny's like, no, we shouldn't. Like, in Hawaii, the waves are for everyone, so why is this any different? And then Brett comes in, he's like, you guys aren't allowed here. And Emily says, this is stupid, let it go. Because remember, she's like, she's one of the good ones. And Brett's like, leave. And Johnny says, no, we have the right to be here too. And then Brett pushes him, and they start to fight, like,
Yeah, they're like
Fist
fist fighting.
yeah.
Well, notably only Brett and Johnny. Everyone else is kind of just watching.
And then ski patrol starts, like they see him coming in the distance, so the skiers are like, we're out.
gotta bail.
We gotta bail. It's lit. Ski patrol can see them
Yeah.
leave. But he comes up and Johnny has a bloody nose. It's so sad. And the ski patrol is like, you guys okay? And they're like, yeah. And he's
It's
like,
just the altitude.
and they're like, you should probably go back on your side. Like, he's not saying they're in trouble or anything. He's just like, for your own good, so you don't get beat up anymore. You should probably go back to your side. And then Johnny's like, oh, my dad's gonna find out. Oh no. So then cut to Johnny talking to the headmaster with his parents and
Yeah, they're like, yeah, maybe your dad won't find out.
And then he finds out, which is so
Yeah.
crazy that they make this a school issue when it happened on the ski resort.
It happened completely off of school.
Like unrelated to school.
But they're like, it's part of the honor code because 2 students of ours were fighting.
So dumb. So we cut in, Johnny says, that's not what happened. He started it. I was just defending myself. And then headmaster's like, I heard there was a fight that you, Johnny, and the other snowboarders started. And he's like, that's so bogus. Like, that's not what happened. And he goes, did you talk to Emily? What did she say? And he's like, we're getting off point here.
Wait a second.
I have a feeling
There's a
Emily.
star witness? No.
I have a feeling Emily said that it wasn't their fault, but the headmaster doesn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The headmaster is actually a bit insane within here because I'll let you continue on with the scene.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the headmaster is fucking crazy. So he goes, first the dress code, now the fight. You know, I could expel you, but I'm only going to give you a warning, and you're on probation. He goes, you have a pivotal decision, Johnny.
Think about this. This is a principal of a school
Headmaster.
saying this.
Mhm.
Yeah. He goes, you have a pivotal decision, Johnny. Where do you want to fit in around here? And Johnny's like, what? And he's like, your friends, Johnny. He goes, you want me to choose between the skies and the urchins? Like, he's telling him who to be friends with in his free time. And the headmaster's like, Skyline has a reputation it does for a reason. The other kids won't ever have the opportunities that you will have if you stay here. And Johnny's like, that's not fair. It shouldn't be that way. Just like the mountain shouldn't be divided. And the headmaster's like, it may not be fair, but it's the way it is. Just like in the real world. Good or bad, right or wrong, it's fact. You have a chance to be a winner, Johnny. I would hate to see you give that chance up just for a few rides down the mountain strapped to a piece of wood.
What the fuck?
What is this guy on? That's the end of that scene. So like, what the fuck is this guy on?
He is just like, hey, hang out with like genuinely mean people because the social connections are gonna make you succeed in life. Because they go to a high school, that means they have rich parents, which means they're gonna be connected.
In your free time, don't hang out with the poor people,
That will ruin your life.
or I'll expel you.
Yeah, it was all under the threat of expel.
So-
Once again, this fight happened off of school hours, off of school property.
It's insane.
yeah, and even the mom had like that, like, what are you talking about? Like,
Parents say nothing during this, which is also crazy that they're just like letting this man speak to their son this way. Which I guess they don't want to get expelled. But like, oh my god. Outside, Johnny's like, at least I didn't get kicked out.
but you could see when the camera points to the parents, like, mom was like,
No,
like,
yeah.
no, that does not seem right.
Yeah, Dad's like, you see this as some sort of victory? And Johnny's like, I didn't start it. Which, again, Johnny's done nothing wrong. He did not start the fight. I mean, he went to that side of the mountain, but it's because he believes in equality.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, Pops probably would have fit in at this school. He would have been
Yeah,
like the
he
goody
said I would have
two-shoe.
loved to go into this school.
Yeah.
He would have immediately been an elitist.
Yeah.
He is already elitist. And
But
he
but
grew up in
also hated
Hawaii.
skiing, which was like a wild take on here.
Yeah.
He doesn't believe in networking.
Yeah, it was crazy in the beginning. He was like, you shouldn't be skiing. You should be learning. But now he's like, you should get in with that crowd. Because now he's
Crazy.
snowboarding instead, which is way worse,
Way
obviously. Yeah. So then at home, Sam is waiting. He's waiting at Johnny's house, and because he just needs to talk to him quickly. So then Sam tells him that he has to leave. The dad got promoted to sergeant major, and they're going to Iceland. He's like, man, I'm so tired of the cold.
Yeah.
It's like, but he promised he wouldn't leave, and I like it here. I like hanging with you and boarding. And Johnny's like, we gotta do something. And then they do their little handshake, and Sam leaves.
We also didn't mention in here the dad was just an asshole. He was like, you can't
Good
talk
talk.
with Sam.
Not
And the
even 2
mom's like, give
minutes.
him literally 2 minutes.
Yeah, literally, the dad was like, this is not the time. You can't talk. And Sam's like, I don't even want to hang out. I just want to talk to him for like 2 minutes.
The
Yeah.
mom's like, okay, fine. But
Yeah.
there's moments that we're cutting out of here of the dad being a dick.
Yeah, you're right. You're
Yeah.
right. We need to mention that the dad is an asshole. So then Johnny heads inside and he's like, what did Sam want? And Johnny's like, he's moving. And the mom goes, oh, I'm so sorry. And the dad doesn't miss a beat. He goes, you may not want to hear this, but Sam moving is probably for the best.
Oh. Oof.
Sam was a very stand-up kid. No moral ambiguity around him.
Best
He's just
friend.
not rich.
His like best
Yeah.
and only friend he's really made here. But it's probably for the best that he's leaving. Like, you're right, Dad. I don't want to hear
You
that.
have no empathy at all.
It's awful. And Johnny's like, how can you even say that? And Dad goes, you have to learn to get along with your peers until you do, I want you to stay away from the urchins and don't snowboard anymore. And Johnny goes, I can't believe my own dad is a sky. I thought moving here was the worst day of my life. I try to fit in, I try to get along, and finally I start to, and my best friend moves away. Now you're saying I can't hang out with the only other ones I have? This reeks so bad. Can't take it.
Word reeks takes me out.
It's awful.
Really.
This reeks so bad. And the dad's like, someday you'll understand why I'm doing this. And Johnny goes, no, you won't understand because this is wrong and you know it.
That's true.
I wish Grandpa was here. At least he understands me.
These are facts.
These are facts. Oh my god, the dad is such an asshole. The audacity to be like, thank God your best friend's moving away. And don't hang out with the other friends, by the way. God. Upstairs, Johnny watches the surf video, all sad. Then he makes a phone call to Sam and he goes, exactly how cold are you? Cut to mom and dad finding Johnny's like note. It's not a suicide note, it's like
Yeah, I like now looking back on it, it sounded so much like where we're going will be fine. I'm like, they're about to go down that cliff that Emily.
But somehow this is more insane than a suicide note.
is
Yeah.
the way the fact that he just like typed on the computer and just left his computer open. for them to fight.
Unhinged.
It's crazy. Yeah, it says like, sorry, we have to leave. We can't live here
These
anymore.
are also pretty bad parents. They didn't
I'm
hear.
sorry to have disappointed you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they didn't hear Johnny sneaking out of the house. Like,
Nope.
I feel like my parents could hear me like getting out of my bed when I was a kid. You
I
know?
can't believe how easy it was for them to do this. So like, okay,
Can we drop the action? Well, I guess we should say this. It's like, oh my god, Sam did it too, because Sam's dad shows up, and it's like, where are they?
well, yeah, and also the dad goes, I don't believe this, and the mom says, I do.
Yeah.
I believe it. Yeah, and Sam's dad shows up, and it's like, they're two 13-year-olds with no money. How far could they get? To them in Hawaii.
Cut to them
Yeah.
in Hawaii. It's insane.
The fact how, like, this was so easy for them to do.
They act like this again was the easiest thing possible. They act like it was like impressive that they were able to sneak out. But getting to Hawaii
Hawaii.
is safe, easy, and also not only Hawaii, the location in Hawaii where Johnny Tsunami is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They somehow just snuck onto a military plane that was going to Hawaii.
I think it would have made more logical sense if like Sam's dad was more high up, like a colonel or a general or something.
Well, he just got promoted to sergeant major.
Yeah.
So maybe he is high up.
But again, they just snuck onto these planes, which
Plane.
we got told they were military base and they fly anywhere. But they're not going to do a 14-hour flight
To
to
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
There's an excellent air
Presumably-
there though.
Presumably they transferred. I don't
No,
think they.
military planes. I think they go from like.
But why
base to
are they
base.
going from Vermont to Hawaii?
That's the part where they probably had to be very creative. And like, but there are like flights. I've read about this, but there are like, if you're like personnel, family of like active military, you can board like certain military flights. And the type of plane that you get to fly are also pretty unique. Like sometimes there might be a giant, like whatever, like cargo plane, or it might be a smaller kind of private jet, and it costs a couple bucks. Sometimes it's free.
Oh wow.
It is an option. So that kind of made sense, but still like if it was a whatever plane that they say it was, like I was like, wow, how does how do two 13-year-old kids just get on a plane, able to convince the pilot, hey, this is the destination.
I always
You
thought
think-
they snuck on like a cargo with
That's
the
what I
cargo.
thought as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Which will also be very dangerous for the temperature of everything within it.
Yes.
This is a plot that I very much wonder if this movie released 2.5 years later, if they would have had to change. Because this is pre 9/11, and I do think it's
9/11.
very valuable to mention this because they're talking about sneaking onto a military plane, and I feel like they wouldn't have wanted to imply like you could possibly do that to a kid post 9/11.
They truly gloss over it though in the plot. They're just like, yep, they're in Hawaii now.
They're in Hawaii. Like,
Yeah.
they act like Hawaii is like an hour away.
Hop, skip, and a jump. And you're in Hawaii.
Crazy.
No, there's like
This is one of the
jump.
most insane plot points. I think when we did one of the minisodes, I had like for what the fuck moments in a DCOM. I think I did like them going to Hawaii. This is actually just the more you think about it, the more you're like, this makes no sense.
Yeah.
Also, they must have been in the air for like again 14 hours and getting there.
Yeah.
So that's the parents are finding out this is all happening, and then they can't confirm where the kids are for several hours.
Like a day, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a full day. That's crazy. So they're just walking on the beach casually, and they run into Grandpa, and he goes, hee.
He's like, oh man, it's Johnny. This is so nerdy. Maybe he called him beforehand to be
No,
like,
I think this is a surprise, honestly.
crazy.
Cut to the boys sleeping, and Grandpa's on the phone with the dad, and Dad's like, ugh, I bet you welcomed them with open arms, didn't you? It's like, yeah, I did. He's my grandson. Like, what did you want me to do? Turn him away? Like, God.
Tell him not to stay here. They're in Hawaii.
Yeah. Grandpa goes like, whoa, this isn't about you and me. Like, this is about Johnny. And the dad's like, get them on a flight tomorrow. And Grandpa's like, I guess they could, but I'm not going to. Like, I'm not going to force them to go back. Otherwise, they're just going to do it again. Like, they're going to go when they want to go.
Which would make sense normally, but when sneaking out to Hawaii
Ye-
is
yeah.
the strat,
And it was
maybe
that
it
easy.
would. And
Yeah.
I don't think,
Okay.
yeah, I don't think they can do that again. Maybe they could.
maybe they could though. They imply it's the easiest thing ever to sneak onto a military plane to fly to Hawaii.
Yeah.
So
He's like, I'll get them back when they're ready or they're gonna do it again. So just you worry about what you're gonna do when they come back, all right? And then he hangs up. And then the dad tells the mom and Sam's dad, like, he won't send them back till they're ready. He drives me absolutely crazy. And the mom's like, they're in good hands, I promise. And Sam's dad is like, are you sure? And the mom's like, I'm very sure, but the dad's still pissed.
The dad's like, I'm not sure.
Yeah, so they're like all in the kitchen, right, talking, and then Sam's dad just like fades out of
He's
It's
just
a weird. It's a cut to show like time has changed,
yeah, but he just
but it's
fades
the
away.
same room, so it's just like he's just gone.
He just fades away.
just does an Irish goodbye and bounces. Well, I mean, there's nothing he can do at the moment. Like, he just
No.
has to wait for his son to be back.
No, it's just
I
so
mean, he
funny
could
that
fly to Hawaii.
That's true. He could use his military
Yeah.
privilege.
it's true. But no, it's just funny that like they chose a fade transition, but they want to do the next scene in the same room. Like they could have moved the parents to a different room. Instead, they just fade Sam's dad out. So, mom said this is a big argument that the parents have now. The mom says, we said when Johnny was born that no matter what, when it came to what was best for him, we would stick together and be a team. And the dad's like, it worked pretty well until recently. And mom's like, it has. But something's changed, Peter. He's like, what's changed? You think it's me? And she goes, somewhere along the way, I lost the boy from the North Shore I fell in love with. And he's like, but I had to provide for my family. And the mom's like, I would gladly give some of it back to spend one day with the Pete Kapahala who was so happy and loved life so much.
I'm happy this got said because, like, otherwise I'm like, how the hell do you fall in love and have a kid?
Yeah, thank God, like, there is an explanation of why she's with
But
this
also, it opens up another angle for the dad to take an L that I was not ready for.
Yeah, and so you think, like, the dad's gonna see the light, right? Or something like, wow, you're right, I am different. No. He says, don't you think you're being a little melodramatic?
Oh my
I
god.
hate this man so much. She says, all I can say is I can't sit back and strip our son of the same joy you used to have.
I want to know what percent of the dad's lines are just him being mad at Johnny's life or being mad at other Johnny's life.
Yeah, both Johnnies. He's like, how dare you like to surf? How dare you be happy?
How dare you?
What
be
if there's
happy?
some like backstory where like he like I don't know got injured as a kid from surfing and then
Well, that's a different decom. That's
No.
Rip Grease.
So true, actually. But no, all they mention with him and surfing is that like he quit.
Yeah.
One day.
What a quitter.
He's
what a
a
hater.
quitter. And the grandpa's like, I let you quit. Like, because I knew you didn't like it.
What if they were broke or something when he was a kid and he just didn't want to live like that anymore? You know?
That's what it always sounds like he's implying is that like they're so poor and they can't make a life, but like they were doing fine in Hawaii
Yeah, they
from
look
what we've
happy.
seen. The writers should have made it look like they
That would
didn't
make
have
way
anything.
more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they were like just scraping by, right?
But no,
Didn't seem like that at all.
no. They need that. If they implied that, this movie makes a lot more sense. There's a lot of things you could do to make the plot make a lot more sense, but they don't
Yeah.
do it.
They don't do
It
it.
just takes a lot more time and setup, right?
They need like
To sh-
another 20 minutes
yeah.
of runtime, probably.
show like the dad like working really hard to build like everything that they have in the family. And stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
They just don't do it.
Or even just a couple throwaway lines of like, you remember how much we struggled and how we said we wanted to give Johnny the best life, get him to
Yeah.
college, pay, like
Yeah.
blah blah blah. That as like a previous discussion in the past that we didn't even need to hear. A couple throwaway lines like that makes the dad seem so much more reasonable, but we get none of them.
It just makes the dad look like an asshole the whole time. It's so dumb. Okay, so then in Hawaii, Sam and Johnny are on the beach, and Grandpa comes out, and they're like, "You're not going to send us back, are you?" And Sam goes, "Yeah, Mr. Tsunami, I really like it here." Mr. Tsunami. Grandpa says, "If you two really want to stay, I'm not going to stop you." And they're like, "Hell yeah!"
We'll stay in Hawaii forever.
Later, Sam leaves, or he's gonna go get a surf lesson with Grandpa, and Johnny's friends roll up to say hi, and they're gonna go catch some sick waves. Remember the sick swell coming in? But Johnny, he's gonna go with them, but then he like kind of stops, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna stay and help with Sam's lesson instead. And then they have a montage of Sam learning how to surf, and the Grandpa goes, hee hee.
It's like, wow, Johnny really does care. But also
Yeah.
like,
They act like
Yeah.
this is such a big moment. Like, good for you, Johnny, for helping your friend. Honestly, I would buy that he would think that this is more fun. than like
Yeah.
just going and surfing somewhere else.
It's only right because Sam taught him how to snowboard.
Yeah,
I guess
right?
it's Jack's
I do
favorite,
get it
yeah.
and I appreciate it, but they also, I feel like it would have made more sense to be a bit more understated.
Yeah, they tried to make it a thing a little bit, and it's like,
Made it too much of a moment and it felt like it lost the power. Whereas if he was just like, "Hello, I'm going to help you. I'm going to teach you how to surf," like we said.
yeah. All right, so that night they're having a little fire on the beach, and Johnny's like, I can't believe I ever left Hawaii. And Grandpa's like, sometimes I wish we traded places because you got to go to a world complete opposite of here and like ride waves there. And he's like, there's no waves there.
Yeah, and Sam's like, "Yeah, I've been in Vermont for a while. Let me tell you, Johnny's right on that one."
And he's like, huh, I don't mean real waves. I mean metaphorical waves. Sometimes they don't look like waves. Sometimes they look like mountains of snow and things you don't like to do. And they're like, huh. And Sam's like, I'm gonna go call my dad. So they're like coming around, right? Which good on the grandpa for reading. Like these
Well,
boys
yeah, the
aren't gonna want to
grandpa's a
stay
good
here,
parent. He just had a bad
right?
kid.
He's a parent. He's like, these boys aren't actually gonna want to stay here. They're gonna want to go back. Like he knew immediately that he didn't have to force them, which good read. Um, Grandpa's like, it was righteous that you stayed to help your friend, and he's like, Johnny's like, well, it's what you would have done. Pop says I'm more like you every day. Like you're like, yeah, I want to be like you. And Grandpa's like, well, I'm not perfect, but I guess you heard that somewhere before. Ha ha. Like his son always shit talks him. He goes, don't get me wrong, Pano. I'm proud of you. I'm proud you want to bring big wave glory to the family name, but I want you to find your own dreams. And when you do that, it'll be far greater than anything I ever did. He Wow. Wisdom, right?
Yeah.
So the next morning, Johnny and Grandpa walk the beach, and Sam is sleeping. And they talk about when Johnny first learned to surf, how it took a long time, um, but he never gave up. And he's like, "Oh yeah, everything back in Vermont is so hard." The grandpa's like, "Oh yeah, it's hard there. That's a good reason to stay." And he's like, "Yeah, I guess that makes it a good reason to go back." Because for most people, they would take the easy way out, and he's
Wait,
like,
he's like,
"I'm gonna
take
do
the
the
hard way
I'm gonna
out.
take the hard way out." And the grandpa's so happy for him, and he's like, "You
I'll
know
come
what?
with you.
You he." So then they arrive in Vermont. Sam's dad and Johnny's dad hugs the kids. And maybe it was the mom, I think, actually hugged them. I don't think the dad is
Yeah, the dad's not
warm.
there.
No,
Not dad's not hugging.
no
Yeah,
hugs.
no, I think Sam's dad and Johnny's mom hug the kids. And Grandpa greets his son, who's like, "Hi, Dad." Meh.
It's like, I'll talk to you later, Johnny. I'm too busy getting over the shock of my grandfather being here.
No, his father.
Your
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 grandfather.
grandfather.
Yeah. And then later that night, Grandpa and Johnny are looking up at the stars and they say goodnight, and Johnny heads inside, and Pops comes out to talk to his dad. And he's like, how'd you get him to come home? And he's like, I didn't have to do much. He's a smart kid. And he's like, well, whatever you did, I appreciate it. I really thought moving here would be what's best for him. I wanted to give him a great
It's like the
opportunity.
one time the dad is fully reformed through here.
A
With
little,
this
yeah.
conversation. And like it's one of the only earnest conversations that actually somewhat works.
Yeah. He never apologizes to his wife.
No, which you should.
Grandpa's like, you didn't want him to end up like me? And he's like, no. And he's like, yeah, you did. Look, he's just a kid, but a kid who does something better than just about anybody. And if you take that away from him, you take away part of him. And the dad's like, I just never had a passion for surfing like you and Johnny. Maybe it skips a generation. Huh. And then Grandpa's like, if I can go back, I would change things to be a better father. But the one thing I wouldn't change is when you decided to quit. I didn't force you to go back to surfing. And the dad's like, I'm glad. Nothing would have changed my mind.
What an idiot.
I wanted to read books and get a job. And which is contrary to like the mom being like, you loved life. Is that just when he was reading a book? And he's like, I love my
I love a
life.
good book.
I love getting a job and providing for my family.
It's like a little 5-year-old kid with the whole suit and little briefcase going,
Yeah.
I gotta provide for my family.
And
I gotta go do a business.
the mom's like, yes.
The mom's just, oh,
Because apparently when he was
Gee.
surfing, he wasn't happy. Apparently, I don't know.
He probably was just really bad, just getting hit every day.
So
Maybe he
true.
got like CTE or something, you know?
changed him.
Just changed
Changed him.
him.
It wasn't hard for the grandpa to be like, "I'm not gonna make you keep doing it." Like
Yeah,
you
maybe
weren't
he
very
just
good.
sucked.
He probably sucked. So he's like, "Yeah, nothing would have changed my mind." And he's like, "Well, not." And the grandpa's like, "Nothing would change Johnny's mind. What's done is done between us. But I'm proud of you, son."
Why?
I don't know. I'm hoping you'll be proud of Johnny when the time comes. And then the dad looks at pictures of him and his dad in a scrapbook. Yeah.
All right, time for like the climax of the movie. I guess like it's a
It's
build
the
up to
build up to the
this is like the
climax.
final act.
Yeah. So they're at the resort, and Grandpa and Johnny roll up, and they head to the snowboard shop, and the worker there is like so stoked to meet Johnny
He's like, oh my God,
Tsunami.
Johnny Tsunami.
Hell yeah. After getting gear, they're at the top of the mountain, and Grandpa is confident he'll just immediately know how to board. And Johnny's like, "What? No, you won't." And he goes, "Hee hee, try to keep up." And he just like immediately shreds it.
I think it's presumed that he has snowboarded before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they kind of mention
Yeah.
that later.
But I think this also goes back to the where it's like if you've done one board kind of sport, it's good translate.
Like I get it's not 1-to-1. They mentioned a couple of distinctions that I bet are actually reasonably true.
Yeah.
Like how you steer the board.
And where
is
you put your
different.
weight.
And the fact that like in surfing you have your feet not strapped to the board.
Yeah.
But it is different.
So we get a montage of them doing like some sick jumps and stuff, right? And some tricks. And Johnny goes, "How come you never told me you could snowboard?" And Grandma goes, "How come you never asked?"
Uh-oh. It's the skies, and they're coming down in their elite ski formation coming down the hill.
Yeah, the way they like switch.
They go through the moguls.
Yeah, and they're wearing their matching yellow jackets.
Can you
Again.
tell these are the elite villains of the film? It's
Yeah.
very obvious at all points.
They roll up, and he's like, Grandpa's like, "Nice to meet you, Brett." And he goes, "How do you know my name?" And he's like, "Lucky guess." And Brad's like, "Don't go down this trail. It's officially urchin free." And Johnny or Grandpa is like, "You have the right to do that." And Brad's like, "Yes, I do." And Grandpa's like, "Of course, until someone earns their place, that is." And Brett's like, "Well, only skiers are allowed on this side." And Johnny's like, "That's not fair." And Brett's like, "You can stay on your side and not bring shame to the winter sport community. And we'll stay here where we've been forever." And then Johnny mentions that like sometimes surfers would like have a surf off, and whoever would win would get to like
That sounds
keep
made
the
up as
beach.
hell.
It sounds like Teen Beach Movie. He's like, they have a surf off, and whoever wins gets to keep the beach for the day. So like, let's do that, but for the mountain. So
And instead of a day, it's forever.
it's forever.
Also, we, these random two kids, have full authority to define all of this.
Yeah, as if like, isn't it a rule here that
And Brett's like, no, we're not going to do this because it's currently in my favor.
Yeah, so Johnny says like if you win, the borders stay off this side of the mountain forever, but if I win, we share it. Both sides we share. And Brett's like, "Why would I do that? If I win, it stays exactly the same it is right now." Which is such a good point that in so many movies
They
it's
gloss
like
over
they
stuff
gloss
like
that.
over that where it's like if you win, we'll keep doing the same thing, and the villain is it's just for an ego thing. He's like, "You got a deal." But he's like, "Why did I take that deal?" And the grandpa goes, "Because whoever wins gets this medallion that I'm wearing right now." And Brett's like, "What the fuck is that?"
Johnny goes, Grandpa, no.
Grandpa, no!
And Brett's like, this is the coolest thing ever. I'm in.
I'm
And I think
in.
it's just because Johnny reacted.
Honestly, if Johnny didn't react, there would probably be no deal. But also, why is Grandpa be like, "Whoever wins this gets the tsunami medallion"? Like, what?
Why is everyone enamored by this medallion? Whenever it comes out and it's seen, everyone's like, this is the most amazing thing. And it looks like something you'd find at Goodwill.
Brett is willing to give up the status of the good side of the mountain to win a medallion. That's
Insane.
crazy.
Oof.
Why was the grandpa wearing
What
it?
is this plot?
So then, Sam knocks on Johnny's door to come and say goodbye.
Oh no, he's leaving tonight rather than tomorrow.
Did you hear about the race tomorrow? No, he's leaving in the morning.
Yeah.
The race is tomorrow. And he's like, "We gotta leave first thing in the morning, so we're gonna miss it." And he's like, but you can beat that guy. Remember? Go big or go home. That's like their motto.
Yeah, the urchin motto.
Very like original model. Never
Yeah.
heard it before.
Right on, brah. No way I'm gonna let him wear my medal.
Again,
Fool.
how does he know about the medal?
He doesn't. He's just like, all right. And then they do their handshake. He says, later, man. And then Johnny goes, hey, Sam, mahalo. And he goes, you're welcome, brah.
This movie's corny. as
Like they
well.
didn't teach him any Hawaiian. Like they didn't teach Sam any Hawaiian.
Honestly, this movie is very rarely cringe, but it's so corny.
Yeah.
It's very much like lesser cringe than most DCOMs while being like one of the corniest.
Yeah, for
Which is a
sure.
weird line. Most those get blurred.
Yeah.
But this is corny but not cringe.
So then Dad asks Sam, like, oh, Sam's not staying? And he's like, oh, yeah, he's just saying goodbye. He goes, you have fun with your grandfather? He goes, yeah, I know I'm supposed to be grounded, but he's like, well, listen, Johnny, let's just forget about the grounding. And Johnny's like, oh, okay. Well, I know I messed up with the fighting and the running away, but things will be different now on, and I'm sorry.
I'm sorry for running away from home, sneaking on a military plane, going to Hawaii. This is one thing I haven't done much in this movie for you to actually get mad at me, but this is one that you can reasonably be mad at me.
Yeah.
I'd understand.
And I'm sorry. And the dad's like, I should apologize, which is true. He goes,
Complete 180.
yeah, never could have imagined how tough it would be for you moving here and leaving home. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
I think
wow,
he just has
really?
no empathy.
He doesn't. He's a psychopath. He's like, I didn't think it would be hard. I thought you'd be just like me and be stoked to go to a private school where you can't surf anymore and don't get along with anyone.
They find out Pete is human like he's like a AI.
Yeah.
That could be a
Johnny
sequel.
Johnny goes, it's not that bad. And Dad goes, I know you find this hard to believe, but your dear old dad isn't perfect. No shit. And Johnny's like, you sure you want to admit this? Haha. And Dad's like, it's harder as you get older, but it's also harder to apologize. So how can I make it up to you? And Johnny says, there's this race I really want to do tomorrow, if it's all right with you. So apparently he agreed to do the race, but also needs permission from his dad, and he hasn't asked yet.
Done it even if his dad said no.
Yeah, he would have
Yeah, I
checked
think
out
he
his
should have
house
done
right
it.
with his
Yeah.
grandpa. Yeah.
I think he would have done it anyway. But Dad's like, yeah, you got to keep the medallion in the family. Oh, what? You already knew about it? Ha ha. And then Johnny leaves, and the grandpa and the mom are like proud of the dad for finally being like a decent human being.
For the first time in his life.
Yeah. And the dad just realizes he missed time with his amazing son.
He's like, yeah, that's what I'm most sad about.
All right, so now it's the day of the big race. Emily goes over to talk to Johnny, and he's like, you here for Brett? And she's like, not really. I wanted to apologize. My dad told me you try to take the blame for what happened. It was just after you talked to him, he got madder, and him and Brett and everyone was telling me to stay away from you. And Johnny's like, it's okay. I understand when your dad doesn't want you to do something that you really want to do. And Emily's like, good luck, be careful. And then Sam rolls up. Oh my god, Sam made it.
Wow. He's like, I delayed the move by a day.
Wow, that plot point lasted 2
Second.
minutes. Yeah, it's almost like it didn't need to happen. He's like, yeah, we're gonna move tomorrow instead. And then the board shop guy gives Johnny like a really sick board, and then the ski shop guy comes by.
He's like, wait a second.
You guys are wait a minute. Well, he doesn't say they're brothers yet. He's just like, wait a minute.
He's putting something together.
putting it
They look
together.
identical.
Because before, when he met the snowboard shop guy,
He's
he's
like,
like, do I know you? And it's because he like could recognize that they were brothers, apparently.
Really? I thought it was like something with
I thought it was going in that angle too.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's other brothers.
His other brothers, yeah. It's weird. So then at the top of the mountain, Johnny says good luck to Brett in like Hawaiian. And then Brett pushes Johnny over and the race starts. So he starts off by cheating.
Yeah, break.
Yeah. And they do be like sliding down that mountain. And they do some sick jumps.
And oh my god, they're taking different paths because they're doing different stuff.
Well, and Brett pushes Johnny harder to like put him in the trees.
He's cheating and stuff.
Yeah.
Whoa, crazy.
But Johnny does well and he catches back up, and then Brett tries to cheat more and pushes more, but it doesn't really work. And then
And
he
I can
sick
the
jumps.
final jumps.
Whoa, the last jump, Brett like kind of falls down, So Johnny sticks it and wins. So yeah, he won.
Oh my
And-
god, Johnny won. He gets the medal.
And the girl.
Yeah, Johnny tries to help Brett up, but he's like, no. And then Grandpa, it like gives Emily the medallion so that Emily could put it on Johnny.
They're like, this is a plot point we're gonna. Yeah.
Yeah, here you go, girl. You can put it on my grandson. And then
Best wingman ever.
Brett's like, he's still an urchin, and Emily
Everyone's
goes,
like, he's ours.
he's our urchin. Emily's like, he still won. He earned it. And Dad's like, we're gonna party at our home.
What a character change for him.
For real. What's invited?
But everyone's gonna be doing business.
So now they're at the after party.
And the dad's like got punched. He's got this whole party set up beautifully. Was this his plan all along?
Probably.
How much did he change in 24 hours?
Well, if he lost, he probably wouldn't have done it.
Maybe he would have.
Home and it's all decorated and stuff. It's
Yeah.
like, I thought you were gonna win.
Tearing down the banner.
It might have been only for like the Skyline kids, just to like get all of them.
It's like, hey, I know this is gonna sting and be very like disappointing, but I still do want you to have a good relationship with
Yeah.
them because
Put on the yellow jacket. You're one of them now.
They're my number one customer.
Sam's moving away. This is a good thing.
It's a moving away party. Oh no.
So Mom and Dad decided that if Johnny wants to go back to Hawaii with the grandpa, he can finish the school year there. That's crazy, right?
Random thing to just drop in there.
But Johnny's like, it's not so bad here. And plus, I would miss you guys too much. So I'm going to stay. Plus, the urchins might need me if Brett wants a rematch.
And now the very end of the movie, we get the shop owners, the
Yes.
ski shop owner and the snowboard to give us the final detail that we've
The
been
lore.
hiding. The lore of why the mountain split, and it's stupid as hell.
It's crazy. So, we learn that they're brothers. And they're like, hey, Johnny, thanks for showing us how dumb this rivalry has been. Brothers shouldn't go this many years without speaking, no matter how different they are. And it's like, whoa, you're brothers? And they're like, yeah. Parents split up as kids. And we went to 2 different schools.
So presumably the parents got individual custody of both of them.
Why did they go to different schools?
Also,
in the
not
same
only that,
town?
when the dad died, both kids got equal inheritance.
So they left them the mountain, and they're like, we'll just split the mountain. Yeah. So the dad is like, but I still care about my other son. So you both get the mountain. I'm assuming that one of them went to Skyline and the other went to the public school in this town. That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Or were they different towns?
Right.
But why would they grow up separately?
It's insane. That's
That's
not how
crazy.
custody works.
That's not how custody. It isn't Parent Trap. This isn't Parent Trap.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's a shared universe.
Yeah. But anyway, they're gonna put the mountain back together now, which was part of the deal that Johnny made without their consent. So it's good that they're on board now. So then end of movie, Grandpa's like, do you think the world is ready for the next Johnny Tsunami? They better be.
Again, he should be named Johnny Avalanche. He saved people in a
Yeah.
snow cliff, and it's not really an avalanche, but Sam fell down due to snow falling. Johnny Avalanche sounds sick as hell.
Yeah, that would have been cool. And then Johnny and Emily slow dance at the party. And the last thing you hear in the movie is hee hee
And you get the grandpa hee-heeing as it fades to black.
as it fades back to black. And that's the end of the movie.
That's Johnny Tsunami.
That's Johnny's Tsunami.
Happy ending. Oh,
How did you like the movie overall?
I thought it was pretty good.
For like a DCOM standard,
For a
yeah.
DCOM movie, it made sense.
Yeah, make sure to grade on the scale
Uh-huh.
of DCOMs because, yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta put it into perspective. But I like there's some type of conflict and then there's some type of resolution, right? And like all the villains besides Brett, or like I don't know, all the people who had like kind of bad editing kind of got like a better edit at the end, especially like Zops and Emily, right?
They're redeemed a little bit.
They were redeemed. Not so much the headmaster, but the headmaster kind of deserved it. The headmaster and
He
Brett kind of
sucked.
needed to be like
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
villains.
Yeah, it's fine to have just a villain within here. I think this movie is structurally pretty bad.
Like I said earlier, what happens, the big plot points that happen are totally fine and make sense.
The overall plot structure when you describe it works actually really well.
Yeah.
I feel like this movie has a great aura around it and it works well. But if you dig any his razor thin characters in terms of making sense because you can poke holes into them so easily.
Why did Emily just fall off of a cliff? Why is everybody blaming Johnny for this? Why does the dad suck so much?
Why does the headmaster talk about his school people this way?
Yeah.
Why does the mom stay with the dad when he's not a good person at all?
How did they get to Hawaii?
There's so many like plot holes and stuff that you can do it. But at the end of the day, that's not as much as what I care about. Especially there's ironic films that I love for
Yeah.
DCOM reasons.
Overall, this movie is like a good watch.
It's a fun
Yeah.
vibe,
Yeah.
and it doesn't bore you really throughout. But
No.
it's also like not.
It's not that
It's not
standout.
perfect in any.
It's not like that standoutish to me though. Like it's not one of my go-to favorites. So final Jank House ranking was 27, which is pretty high.
It's pretty high.
You have it at 23.
I do like me a sports movie.
That's true. I have it way lower at 52. I have it in my C tier, which like again, I like this movie. I think it's just not one of my go-tos. So it's like right middle of the road for me.
I had it in my A tier, and I'd probably maybe move it down to like B. I don't
Yeah.
think it stand out as much as I remembered it being.
Yeah.
I think it's in a B tier because I don't know. I also like the kind of like the sports movie, like a good kind of hero arc.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Johnny's a fun character overall. I like his characterization a lot, but it's also like
There are a lot of holes.
there's a lot of
There are a lot of
holes in
holes
this
in character
movie.
development that needed to kind of be.
If the script got another run through in total, it probably would have been a
Yeah.
lot cleaner.
Reboot Johnny Capahala or Johnny Tsunami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like going back to the Hawaii thing, like traveling to Hawaii, it could have been an easy like kind of montage of like 3 separate clips of like them sneaking on a plane.
And it would have
Plane
made it feel
landing
way
and then
more
yeah.
thought out rather than just
But
cut.
But also, like, they didn't want to waste time on that when you only have 90 minutes of runtime, you know? I feel like this movie could have benefited from 20 more minutes of time for sure.
I don't think the pacing's bad, but I do think
No.
like the story could have used
Yeah,
it.
the story just needed a little bit more to round it out. But it's not bad overall. So, yeah, that's Johnny Tsunami. Thanks, Alan, for being here to talk about it.
Anything you want to shout out to the world of our podcast viewers, the like 20 people that might listen this far?
Go out and surf some rad waves.
Yeah.
Go snowboard. Do something fun. Do what you enjoy. I mean, that's kind of like the
That's
theme
kind of
of
the-
this movie, right?
Yeah.
Let anyone stop you from
And the
doing
dad
that.
enjoys being a bad.
Yeah.
So
Being
we're
a dad at coding, so
Far out, brah.
you like doing that. Don't be the bad dad, but if you like coding, go code or whatever.
Yeah, go do whatever you want. Yeah, for sure. You coming back for the sequel?
Oh yeah,
It's definitely
It's
that
not-
I've seen multiple times too. Yeah,
yeah, that
And
one
it's-
was so boring. It's gonna be interesting to talk about it.
yeah.
Maybe it won't be as bad on my second watch, but I don't know.
Well, if you have any thoughts on Johnny Tsunami or anything else, email us, thedcomduo@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we should probably get to figuring out what we're watching next.
Yeah, so we always make a bet on what our next movie's gonna be. We spin a wheel. So,
Mhm.
Alan, what do you think it's gonna be? And we'll tell you if we've covered it yet or not.
I'm going to predict Zombies 2.
Whoa. I'm gonna predict Cloud9, the other snowboarding movie.
Yeah,
And we're gonna
that's
do-
a fair point.
We're gonna do 2 in a row.
Dad nap.
We've already done.
Wow, we made that one.
I think I've seen that one.
Yeah, it's
It's not good.
not good.
Cheetah Girls.
We've done the first one. You want to
You
guess
pick
the second
Cheetah
one?
Girls
Two.
2.
Yeah. You want to pick Cheetah Girls
I'm gonna
2?
pick Cheetah
All
Girls
right.
2.
Then we'll spin the wheel. If you're right, you get $1. Well, $2.
But if one of us gets right, you owe us $1.
No way. It's not one of the movies we picked. But guess who's back? Mr. Jet Jackson himself.
No way. That's the odds. What are the odds?
Okay.
So we're gonna see
Meant to be.
Sam again. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Back to back. Jet Jackson the movie. All right, tune in
Alright,
2
yeah.
weeks
2
for
weeks.
us to talk about Jet Jackson the movie.
Possibly the most forgotten decom
Hell yeah.
there is.
Goodbye.
See you.
Peace.
Scenes from our next episode. You can be a part of this if you want to be.
Oh.
Oh, I star in this show. And now I'm in the show?
Oh, it's like the show and my real life are blurring together, even though I'm an actor. And it's a really weird sci-fi show.
Whoa, the character of the show is in real life? Why are you acting so weird, Jet? Jackson?
Why is this directed by Sean Levy? You know, the director of the Deadpool movies? That's so random.
Why isn't this movie on Disney Plus?
It was literally a Disney Channel show. How do they not have the rights?
I feel like they're trying to erase this show from existence.
It is like
It
not
never
even
happened.
controversial as far as I know.
It's like the Truman Show, right? Kind of like that kind
The
of,
movie is a little bit.
right?
Well,
No.
No.
It's like the actor and the character end up in each other's world.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
which is a lot like
Which-
Teen Beach Movie and Teen Beach Movie 2.
Yes.
They ripped it off.
Oh my god. That's why they're trying to get it off Disney Plus.
We've solved it.